Hello out there, podcast land. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Beer League in the Get Off My Lawn studios. We have a tremendous new guest today, a very good coach here in the Flyers organization, Greg Sauers. Hello, Greg. Thank you for coming to the show. Here's the claps. Got to have the claps. There you go.
What's up, Greg? How's it going?
It's going well. Thanks for having me on. Looking forward to a conversation here.
Now, I got to say right off out of the gate, I mean, Seth has about 300, did you say,
About
jerseys?
300 jerseys, yeah.
And usually he's wearing jerseys to troll people.
Yeah.
He's using the arch nemesis of them. But today he's got a very special jersey on, which
my favorite hockey player of all time actually played for this team. I won't get an out of the jersey of him, but John Van Beesbrook, baby.
yeah,
Johnny BBK.
this is a blue moon event because usually he doesn't show such respect.
Yeah, you could have picked a lot of NHL teams for a Flyers rival, so I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, it was either that or I was going to try to go out and get my Inca Sinisalo jersey. I don't know if you remember Inca Sinisalo back then with Tim Kerr, Brian Propp, Poulin, a little bit.
Nobody remembers the 70s.
I got
man.
Kerr and Prop, not the other one.
Oh, how about this? Bill Barber and Bobby Clark. Come on, we got one of those
them.
guys.
I got them, yeah.
Yeah, and I actually, you know what? I kind of cried when Pelle Lindbergh died. You know, and that's some guy, a goalie I liked him back then, and I'm like, I'm Pelle Lindbergh. No, you're not. You're dead. You know, I can't do that.
Yeah,
that's not a good
You
idea.
and your waterworks.
I know.
The glory days are dying, unfortunately, for the Flyers. So.
You know, but you still gotta love them.
Yeah.
You gotta love the way that the Broad Street bullies, how they all, were back in the day. They just beat you up. I mean, I forgot the guy's name, but what was it? Tyga? Was it Tyga? No. Who was the guy who was just beating on one of the Rangers?
Dave Schultz.
Dave Schultz,
Yeah.
That was him. He was just punching some Ranger in the face. I felt so bad for the guy. I mean, they show a video of him. Greg the Hammer.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty, but I found a way to take 2 Stanley Cups with that way. So.
You know what? And they did, and still I'm pissed that they lost to the Islanders. I got to be honest with you. That's what it started, the whole thing with the Islanders. 4 in a row, and I had to hear all the crap over years and years of
quite a run.
1940.
Yeah. Well, for me, my Flyers generation died when Ed Snyder died, and then Comcast bought him, and it's been a whole mess since then. So maybe we got Mitch got the young guy this year. So hope for brighter roads in the future here, because it can't get much worse.
No, it can't. I mean, hey, you're going through coaches like water now over there, and you know what? I'm okay as a Ranger fan. I'm okay to keep them down. I got to be honest, but the Rangers don't look too good either this year. So I don't know.
Yeah, JT Miller, the captain now. Yeah.
He's salt and vinegar. That's the guy you want as a captain. You want a guy like him in your captaincy. You don't want to, and I hate to even say it, and please don't be offended, it's some soft European. That sound like Don Cherry, don't I?
You've really been going after these Europeans lately. Your last rant was actually too hot for TikTok.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, they wouldn't let that thing go out.
I
Got about 10 views, but it was a good one. You were taking on the Ryder Cup.
I was taking on the Ryder Cup.
And they let a lot on TikTok, so good for you.
Thank you. That's why I'm here. Well, again, Greg, welcome, man. Thanks so much for coming in here. And I know, you're a busy man, busy day. And honestly, I really don't know you. I know of you. Mm-hmm. And I know Greg is like, hey, let's get Greg Sauers. I'm like, okay, let's do it. And I'm all about new guests and great guests and, coaches. And this is what the podcast is about. It's, Beer League, because we always say if we all end up in Beer League one way or another, regardless of what it is and how it goes, and I want us here. The audience wants to hear your perspective and how you feel about everything here in the hockey world and your background and how it all works out, And I want to say again, thank you for coming.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we can pretty much get into anything you want to. I mean, if you want to start about how I started playing hockey, we could do that.
That's exactly how we do. We usually do an intro. Usually, Greg, first things first, I always say, how your career as a hockey player from 7 years old when you first started to how you got here to Nashville today.
Yeah.
How's that go?
Well, 32. So when I was about 3 years old, I mean, the first thing I remember is being on skates. My dad grew up a Flyers fan. I was born in Pennsylvania. So it was either Philadelphia or Pittsburgh. My dad was a Flyers fan, went to a few Hershey Bears games that I can't remember. But
they're good.
Yeah. But the Capitals affiliate, right? I think so.
Yeah.
So that's where it started. And it was my dad used to coach. He didn't play too high of a level, but basically on skates before I can remember. Moved to Florida when I was probably 6 or 7, I think, and that's really where I started to play hockey. And at that time, late '90s, it was. I mean, it's so much better now, hockey in the South and Tennessee included. But we were skating. My dad told me that we were skating at a rink that had the fence around.
Oh yeah,
and
played many of those.
yeah. So that's where it started. The development leagues were still very raw. Like there wasn't that many 7, 8-year-olds playing. I'm on the ice with the next group up because there's not enough of us. So that's where the hockey playing started, and then from there I went all the way through. Started at house league, started at A level, played double A. That's when I really started getting into travel hockey and playing on a team in Tampa there. And I started playing in Orlando, I should say. But
which rink in Orlando?
It's called the RDV Sportsplex.
Okay.
Where the Solar Bears practice out of.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and that was my I went to a lot of Solar Bears games when they were in the IHL. What are they in now? They're in the ECHL. But even when they did the Florida Seals had a SPHL team for a little bit, where it was just the league's a lot better now. But people would go there and it was just fights.
Yeah,
It was entertaining, but it wasn't
great.
hot.
It was old school hockey.
And then we were watching those games even as 10 and 12-year-olds, and I'm like, I'm gonna be better than this. And
That's cool.
I ended up being in a training camp for that league. Like that was the last thing I did as my pro career, I guess you should say. So it's funny how that kind of came for full circle. But growing up again, 12 years old was when I started playing AAA. And then I actually was one of the kids who lived in Florida when TPH was doing their TPH Thunder.
Okay.
And then I come up to Atlanta and Nashville and Huntsville on the weekends to practice.
That was at 12 years old too there?
That was at 12 years.
So did you go up to Quebec?
Did not do that.
Okay.
Did not make that trip.
Okay.
But I was one of the originals for TPH,
Awesome.
which is now the Junior Preds. And then from there, played AAA till I was U16. Actually didn't play U18 at the AAA level. When I aged out of U16 is when I made the jump to junior hockey. Played juniors in my first year was in Dallas, Texas. Played for the Dallas Ice Jets in the Western States Hockey League.
Okay.
The year after that, played for the Laconia Leafs, which are no longer around, in the Atlantic Junior Hockey League. And these are all Tier 3. So, and also Western States doesn't exist anymore. Atlantic Junior Hockey League doesn't exist anymore. And then my last year, the Laconia Leafs folded. So then my age out year, I played in Gillette, Wyoming, which was a Western States Hockey League team, the Gillette Wild. The team's still around, but now they're part of the NA3HL.
Oh, wow.
That was my junior hockey career. And then from there, I went to Aurora University, where I played Division III NCAA. Okay. Played there my freshman, sophomore, and junior year. And then my senior year, we had a coaching change my sophomore year. And let's just say it didn't go very well. So my senior year, there was a club hockey team at the college. And then I ended up playing there. We went to nationals, and it was one of the best moves I made, dropping from NCAA Division III to club hockey.
A lot less stress.
A lot less stress, and I mean we were good because new coach comes to town, brings in all of his recruits, all of his guys, and the guys there were not his guys. So a lot of us dropped down the club, and we were older, bigger, faster, stronger than a lot of the teams we were playing.
That's great.
You bullied them.
Yeah, exactly. And we were dominant. We didn't lose a game all year until we got to nationals. When fortunately it was single elimination nationals. So one of those things. But then once I stopped playing college, I still wanted to live the dream. Went to a couple SPHL tryouts, just like those free agent camps.
Yeah.
I went through a few of them while I was in school just to get a taste of it. And then I ended up going to the Huntsville Havoc SPHL training camp. Made it out of their free agent camp. They only can take 2 guys. And then my first scrimmage game, I tore my ACL.
Oh, my God.
So it's like the classic, well, if I didn't get hurt, what would have happened?
Yeah.
But, I mean, that was my second ACL tear I had in that knee. I had one when I was 14, too.
Okay.
And it was just one of those moments where, like,
14.
your body's just... And
Stop.
I knew it, too. As soon as it happened, I was like, this is going to be it. But,
And trying to get, getting that rehab too is such a process too, to try to get that.
It
and
was
just beating yourself up.
It was a mess, and I was like at a point in time too where it's like I'm 20. Oh man, I was probably 25, 26 at this time.
Okay.
I'm like, at some point, I got to get my life started.
So
here.
what year was that when you tried for the Havoc?
I graduated in 2018 from college, so it would have been it was prior to COVID.
Okay.
So it had to be 2018, 2019.
So
Yeah.
I wonder if you end up playing with a friend of mine, John Chavo.
I know of him.
Okay.
He wasn't at training camp because at that point he was John Chavo. He's
Yeah.
making all the videos. And
Yeah,
stuff,
I know.
and, like he could have came back and had a spot on that
Yeah.
team. Like I know of him. I never had a conversation with him.
Yeah.
But
Well, I went down there with my kid and Tommy, or one of our other guests. We brought him down there, and I'm texting him, "Hey, John, meet us up after the game." He's like, "Oh yeah." So we went down there, and this was right before COVID happened. Like, I believe it was January. We went down to a Havoc game.
Mm-hmm.
He came out after.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gave us pucks and everything. Took pictures with my son and his kids and everything. Long story. He's from Long Island,
okay.
and he helps out Paulie, the guy who was.
So Seth, in case you couldn't tell, he's from Long Island.
No thanks, pal.
He's not from around here.
He's not from around these parts. Yeah, so he would come in and he would help out my buddy Paulie that was on the call last time and do practices with him because he's from Patrick Medford High School.
Okay.
That's where my buddy Paulie coached, Patrick Medford. He came in, he was there, and he would hang out. And one of John's really best friends I see all the time when I go up to New York. Again, I always see him at my old favorite watering hole up there, Cavs. You're up there, Rob. You know it. But,
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out, Rob. Here you go, bud. And he just got married. Congratulations, Rob.
Congratulations, Rob.
But yeah, so that's why I wanted to make sure, see if you did play with John or anything like that.
No, but I mean, I will say that Havoc, I tried out there a few times throughout the school, and I had a coach who was involved with the program. And like, growing up, it's still pro hockey. Like, it's still really good hockey, and like, you don't think, you think I'm going to be better than that, or I don't want to be there, but that level of hockey is still the best hockey I've ever played. And there's guys there that they do have long careers, and sure, they don't make the money that the East Coast guys do or AHL guys, but I mean, they make a living doing it. They love the game.
Love the game, right
it's,
there.
It's definitely not what it was when I was watching the Florida Seals SPHL team. Like, there's fights.
Oh yeah,
There's aggression to it, but
Yeah.
it's not you showed up to a fight in a hockey game broke out, right?
Yeah.
It's not that anymore.
Doesn't it blow your mind a little bit? Like, that's Havoc, and you're like, wow, these guys are awesome. Just think there's a lot more higher levels
Yeah.
than that, and you go, how much awesome they are.
Yeah.
In that, and hockey, and I've said this a while. To me, hockey's become boring to me because it's so talented. These guys are so good, and the talent level is it just blows my mind. What these kids can do, and I watch watch the NHL, and I'm going, where's the personalities anymore? There's really, I mean, you have the Kachuk brothers, and yeah, those are throwbacks. Wilsons, you're like, yeah, okay. You have your Vetskins, your Crosbys, but it's so hard to differentiate, if that's a word, differentiate the,
It was close.
yeah, I'm
Delineate.
Different, whatever. Anyway, so like a third liner on the NHL, you can change in a third liner and take a jersey off and put it on another third liner, and I would never know the difference of the player because they're so good and so athletic and so pretty much awesome. Back in the day when I used to love watching hockey, the fourth line was non-existent. You rolled out goons.
Yeah.
You had your third line was your checking line, but you always rolled out your first line, your second line were your two top scoring lines, your third line was your checking line, and then your fourth line came out, 5 minutes a game and fought.
Right.
Now, these fourth liners could be a first liner if they got the minutes. And that's exactly what it is because they're so damn good. Prime example, Marchessault.
Yeah.
Marchessault. He was, the guy is so good and talented, but look at him in Florida, right? He didn't sniff the ice. They gave him a shot in Vegas, right? He was on first and second line. Guy pops up 50 goals. Now he's got monster contracts.
Right. Well, it's like the Flyers too. Their first line guys are not sniffing the first line on other teams either. So
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, and part of that too is, I know we have probably a plan here to the conversation, but there is so much skill now in the game, and watching our kids at practice. Everybody wants to be the guy that toe drags, and everybody wants to be the guy that goes bar down. And it's like, you guys, there's a role on every team, and you have to find what that role is, because everybody cannot be I'm going to go and be the Connor McDavid. It just, not everyone has that skill set.
Can't all be snipers in the Army.
No.
Right? You need some engineers.
The key is, too, in your level that you went up in hockey, is the person that had to accept it. Because those kids were the toe draggers and the snipers, and then all of a sudden they're going to be asked. I had a friend of mine, too, would say the same thing. He goes, the hardest thing is in the NHL is to tell a kid that you are now a third liner, and I need you to check. I need you to make sure that, your role is to make sure they don't score.
Yeah.
That's your job. And they were like, what? But for them to understand it, it's kind of like, what? And half the time it's like, well, I should be scoring goals, I mean, if you think about it, it even happened back in the day. Ty Domi. Ty Domi was a 50-goal scorer in the minors, right? Made it to the NHL because he could fight. Bob Probert, same thing.
Yep.
Bob Probert scored 30, 40 goals in the minors. And yet one year he did score 32 goals. Man, I had to. But yeah, the talent level, it is so insane. The skill level. And I think it all attests to what we've been talking about. We said this earlier. Youth sports is a $40 billion industry. It's more than the NFL. I mean, it's crazy. And how much skill development it is with these kids. And it's crazy. I mean, it's to watch this. You now as a coach, you probably like blowing your mind. Some of these kids do it. The skill.
Yeah, I mean, the skill is definitely ramped up since. Like if I was 12 years old playing these 12-year-olds, they would outskill me all over the ice. But nobody can play the game anymore.
Bingo. It's true.
Yep.
They don't understand the game. You see more individualities out there. You see kids going end to end. You're like, whoa, time out.
Yeah.
The puck goes faster than you.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, it's like one of the biggest struggles as a coach now. And I've been coaching. I coached through my time in college, and again, freshman 2014, graduated 2018, and my sophomore year is when I started really getting into coaching. I was helping out with a high school team up in Chicago. It's how do you get through to a player at that level of, hey, I'm playing hockey and I want to be the guy, but you want to get across to the player of like, well, if you want to be the guy, you're going to have to be, there's going to be times where you're on the ice and you're helping out your teammates, and then they're going to help you, and everyone will eventually be the guy at some point. Like with my high school team, every year I'm dealing with, they're talking about who's got what points on the team and who's leading in this, and they're looking at other teams' points. It's like, boys, if we all play together and move the puck, you are all going to get your cookies. You're all going to get your points.
Yeah.
But they all want to be the toe drag guys and do it themselves, and it's gotten a lot better this year with my high school group, and it's paying off so far. We've only played 2 games, but that maturity and realizing if you use each other, everyone's going to succeed. And, that wasn't rising tide lifts all ships type deal. So, I mean, that's just another thing, we're dealing with at youth hockey.
Well, it's I know it sounds difficult because now you have the kids that being like that. You're like, well, wait, hey, guys. But the worst problem is, and I think this is also more stories that we like to get involved in too on this episode too, is the parents. The parents are, hey Johnny, you score a goal, I'll give you $20, or you get Nintendo, or you get that Xbox game that you wanted, or you get a car now because it's high school.
I hope that's like fading away as you get towards teenagers. I mean, it feels like something for the young kids to make them pay attention. But if you're doing all this travel, I mean, Sean talked about the plus and the minus. If you're going to do that, but just don't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, the game should be a reward in and of itself. And having your parents trying to give you some incentive contract, I mean, it's just a bad idea.
It's awful.
Yeah.
It's awful.
I mean, I've literally, won't name names, won't name programs.
There you go.
I've literally seen on a piece of paper a menu of if you do X, Y, Z, there was dollar amounts assigned to it.
Are you kidding me?
I wish I was. But
God.
It's unfortunately, I mean, and that only builds the individuality in the
ego
game.
and screw everybody else. I'm here for myself. It's like, you're not in the pros where you're in a contract year. I mean,
and honestly too, I mean, who cares? Who gives a shit? Sorry. Yeah. Who cares how many points you got playing U12, U14, AA, and wherever it is.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, there are guys at 14 and 15 that are, now committing to colleges and things, but boys, let's look at the reality here,
Yeah.
where we are in the
We're
grand
in
scheme.
Nashville.
Yeah, yeah, and don't get me wrong, it's getting a lot better.
Oh, it is.
But still grand scheme of things, and there's a reason we go up to Chicago or Detroit, and it tends not to go so well. But I mean, it's light years away, or light years where it was,
Oh my God,
10, 15 years
I mean,
ago.
especially in the Northeast, you
Yeah.
know, you see some of these hockey teams, and you're like, yeah, we'll go up there. I don't know you're going to get killed. You know, it's funny because I have a friend of mine, and again, I won't say too much about it, but in 8U, 9U, the kid was scoring 10, 15 goals a game, you know. Then, went up another year, and he's scoring 5 goals a game. I said, hey, you do know that's going to stop. What do you mean it's going to stop? I said, this doesn't happen anymore because kids get better. There's systems, and you won't be doing that. And I go, and also, too, that glory that your son has that goal? He's like, yeah, scored a goal. I feel great. I go, later on when the kids, when puberty starts and they're playing real hockey, one kid's going to go, I just want to play defense. Or another kid's like, I just want to pass the puck. And that's his glory of doing that. And again, eventually what's going to happen is there's going to be a kid that just wants to knock your kid out. That's his goal.
Yeah.
And I go, that's his excitement after. He's like, well, he'll get a penalty. I go, not if he does it right.
Yeah.
I go, of course. And that's his goal.
And if he gets a penalty, he's back in a minute and a half now, or 2 minutes.
Exactly.
So it's like, but the that mentality too of everybody's looking for goals or assists and those points. One thing I've tried to do as a coach since I've been down here is, what happened to cheering on the bench for block shots? What happened to cheering for a good back check or breaking up a 2-on-1? That stuff, it's not highlight reel material, but that art or that appreciation seems to have died a little bit because it's not the flashy part of the game. But I mean, you look at if you go back and look at our game so far, even this year, high school or my U14 team, the games we're successful in is when we're doing all those little things. And again, it's not going the bar down. It's hitting the net. It's stopping in front of the net. It's back checking. It's, taking a body or getting the puck in deep instead of trying to toe jug at the blue line. Like, that's when our team is successful. It may not make every player look like a all-star, but that's part of what I'm trying to instill in our kids is, this team game, and everyone is gonna, and doing the little things is gonna get us further and everybody further.
It's got to be hard because of the TikTok, and I want to get into your kind of cutting edge about that stuff. But back in the days, you didn't have video of every single play, and you didn't have highlight reels, and so there wasn't a temptation to try and show out as much. And so I don't think it rewards the team play when you've got all this crazy nonstop internet, social media type stuff. So you got to kind of have a strategy to cut through that,
Right.
and try to get people to focus back on the fundamentals, but also each other. So how do you try to balance the current state of, everybody's got a phone at 12 years old or whatever?
Well, I think the biggest thing, it's with everything else, all of us, it's all right here at your fingertips, and it's way easier to watch a 6-second clip of Austin Matthews, with his quick release and saying, I'm going to do that, than it is to watch an NHL game and watch a period. So one, I encourage, and obviously I'm not at their homes, I can't make them do this, is watch NHL games. Don't go on and watch.
You're always getting on about that.
Yeah. I know.
Like watch and learn. Nobody watches the game. Nobody really absorbs what's going on. Like when I was growing up, my dad would sit me in front of the TV, probably a Flyers game, and be like, watch Eric Desjardins.
Yep.
Just watch a defenseman, or if we went to a game, watch a guy shift. Just don't take your eyes off that guy and see where he goes when he has the puck, when he doesn't have the puck. So to your question, watch the game is the biggest thing, I think. And unfortunately, with the program we have now, Preds play Tuesdays and Thursdays. We practice Tuesdays and Thursdays, so it's a little hard that way, but there's games every night.
You don't want to watch the Preds.
No, it's
Stupid fang finger.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's not
It's a
the
hot
problem.
button. That's a hot button for me.
But as far as, how to break through to them in that sense, I think something I've learned as a coach, and everyone learns a little differently, and like that's cliche, and that's like more of a teacher answer. But, my practices for the youth team is, we're on the ice for 50 minutes. Before that, you're at the rink an hour before, and we're either doing off ice or we're doing watching video, or I'm going on the board.
That's something that I've actually always said. You got to break down a game sometimes. Like we had it with Sean here. Greg went out and got some a program too that he can circle all the stuff here. And I think that would Absolutely. I mean, I know it's hard for, the 12, 9, 10, 11, 12, the kids at it, mindset, okay,
Right.
TikTok, but to try to get them to that focus, to watch a game. Like you said, there's some kids out there that are like, yeah, they'll watch the game, they'll sit down. We had a party at my house after one of the games, and I put up the computer, I set it up to the TV, and you can see half the kids would watch the game that we just played, and half the kids are still running around in my backyard playing basketball. You can see that. And to me, I think breaking a game down is awesome. And I think that you guys took a very huge step this year with off ice too. Mm-hmm. You can see it because we played this weekend, and our third period, we were just more dominant in the third period and had more legs than the other kids. So that worked out well. And I thought that is, because of you guys are doing the off ice, which is great. But, it's time.
Yeah.
It's time. It's space. Would you like to have an area that has do the video breakdown or, hey, perfect, but it's hard.
I mean, we're very, and it's all optional too, right? And that's kind of where, we're coaches, we're not being paid for that time, but if a kid wants to be there, I will be there. Like for me, it works out because I work close to the rink and, I can get there and I'm hanging out, I'm ready to go 1 hour before practice. But, when we're doing video, it's crazy. Like this year, I had one returner from my team last year, the team that went to nationals. So like a lot of those kids, at the start, and we're doing video, I'm like, how many of you have actually watched yourself skate? And it's kind of crazy to have like half of them would say no.
Mm-hmm.
They're just out there doing their thing, and maybe mom takes a picture or dad takes a picture. But I'm like, how many of you have watched yourself play a shift or a game? And a lot of them don't. And it's a whole an optics thing of, I think I look this way, and I thought this when I played. I thought I was doing this, or I thought I was this close to this guy. But when you see it on video, you can call yourself out pretty quickly, and it's an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
But also when we're doing video, it's not like we went over power play. I'm not watching a U14 power play. I'm pulling up the Flyers power play. Well, maybe not the Flyers power play, but
I wouldn't do that.
I'm pulling up a power play. And I'm like, boys, this is what we're kind of trying to do. These guys are in the NHL. They can do a lot of things that we can at this time, but the principles are the same of maybe we have a guy at the far blue line, stretching them out, but I'm not expecting you to make a 100-foot pass to that guy out there, right? We're learning from watching ourselves play and also, what we can take from, the guys that are getting paid millions of dollars to do it.
I always think, I try to sit down with my son and he gets mad at me. You're an idiot. Like, all right, well, watch yourself, but I think he associates that as negativity. And I'm like, I'm not being negative. I'm like, dude, you did a great play here. This is smart. You did this. But then when I go, what was that? Oh, I don't know. And you go, I'm not really picking on you, but hey, I coached high school back in New York, and I'm done doing all that other stuff. I'm not coaching anymore. And it's just the hardest thing to do. And I commend you because you don't have a kid in the game either.
Right.
So that's what's great about it. I think it's, hats off to you what you're doing. Me, I can't do it anymore. The hardest thing in the world is to coach your own kid.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to hey, watch the video. No, I don't want to do that. I want to watch something else. I'm like, okay. Yeah. So, and I always say the kid will tell you what he wants to do without telling you.
Yeah. And my dad was my coach growing up, and a lot of good times, and there was a lot of times I hated it, and he probably would say the same. And there's a time when eventually you break off, and you kind of get to a point where it's above what your parent can provide.
Exactly.
But there were, again, a lot of good moments, always driving me to the rink, and my mom too, doing stuff like that. But him being on the bench and having that different expectation over your shoulder is a tough thing to manage sometimes. And that was the same thing throughout my college career of, he was living in Florida and I'm going to school in Illinois, and it wasn't so. If I knew he was watching on like a video or live bar, and that's one thing. But when he was in the building, my play was affected because it's just the mental of like expectations, or that
you got stressed a lot. Then you tried pressing a lot more.
Stressed, or like my game was not the same. Where I was like, I'd be more relaxed when I'm in my own zone,
playing tighter.
Playing tighter. I mean, I could think of one example when I was my 20-year-old year when I was in Wyoming. My dad made the trip out. It was my last year of juniors. We were having some special, fundraiser night, and loved Wyoming, loved Gillette, but the if you scored goals, you were awesome in that town. You were great in that town. No one really understood the hockey. Love the people there, but it's not a hockey environment. So my dad's there, and I'm trying to, and I'm a defenseman. I'm not a lighting up by any means, but I'm doing well for a defenseman in that league. And my dad shows up for a game, and my coach actually, it's like the second period, and he walks down and he goes, what's going on? Because I didn't even realize it, but I am not playing. Obviously, I'm not playing how I used to play or I'm used to playing because my coach has not come over to tell me. And I just looked at him like, my dad's here. And he just nodded and walked off. I'm like, in that moment, didn't think I was playing bad or differently, but just having that external pressure that I wasn't even aware of, it affects, how you play. And it's like, it's a mental grind. I mean, the hockey's it's
mental.
It's so mental.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But
because again, the talent is so now close. Everyone's excellent. And especially when you're in that level there, everyone is superstars. Everyone's played high level hockey.
Yeah.
And then just something little, if your mind and your head is not in the game, it shows.
Yeah.
It definitely shows. And that's, oh man, I feel, I'm sorry. I hear that. I really do.
Well, it's like too, it's, you could be 10 years old driving home from the rink, or you could be 20 and he's in the car and it's like, hey, why don't you do this on this play? And that's like it's like a dad.
Yeah, you're like, shut up, Dad.
Yeah.
Just drive the damn car.
I'm 20 years old, leave me alone.
I got a date tonight. No.
You're right. So, no, I mean, I know we kind of went off on a tangent.
No, that's what it's about. We always go on tangents. Doesn't matter.
I got a question. 307, you've played all over.
Yep.
307, that's like the area code. I don't know how many area codes they have in Wyoming. I'm guessing maybe 2. But why did you name your hockey clinic here that you're working with? Why'd you call it 307? What was it about Wyoming that kind of stuck with you, playing everywhere?
Yeah, so a couple reasons. So it's 307, which is the area code. And fun fact, when I got to Wyoming, my phone was stolen in the first week. So I had a Florida number. It's a whole thing. Got a new number, and it happened. So I still to this day have a Wyoming area code.
Yeah.
So when we started the company, it was me and a guy I played with in Gillette. We said, hey, we want to do these summer programs, do summer teams, and the initial idea was kind of do these. He now is a head coach of an NA3 team in Texas or in El Paso. So New Mexico. Sorry, I want to get that right in case he listens. And that's where it started. Because again, us having that connection of playing in Wyoming together. But eventually he became he has a lot of stuff going on as being a GM and a coach of his junior hockey team. So once that he became time consumed with that, he kind of stepped out of the 307 and just became me.
Okay.
So that's where it originated from. But I mean, Gillette has a special place, in my hockey career where one, I was supposed to be going back to New Hampshire to play that year, and the team folded, and they kind of last minute saved the day, or else I wouldn't have anywhere to play. And that coach that I had been asking me to play for basically since I was 15 years old to go play for him in Wyoming. You see me skate in Nashville at the Elite Edge Showcase, and I was like, this guy wants me, this program wants me, and I ended up there, and it was one of the most fun hockey seasons of my life. I mean, like I said, love the people there, and it's so cold. You walk out of the rink and it's like minus 20 below, and you're like coming out of the shower, out of the rink, and your hair freezes immediately before you get to the car. But the people loved you there. Like 1,000 fans a night, because we were the thing to do in town during
the Spartans almost,
like in Clarksville, you're saying? Yeah. I mean, I haven't been to a Clarksville game out there. I know they didn't draw very well when they were in Nolensville, but
no stands.
That also hurts, and it's also 20 degrees in that rink.
Yeah, no, it's cold.
But yeah, I mean, it was that vibe of look, this is your town, this is your team, and it was really fun. I mean, if you played well, you were awesome there, and then if we weren't playing well, you get we had change like coins thrown at us.
Was it Philly?
Yeah,
Philly?
Right. So it was, and then the rink was a multiplex. So once our season was over, they melt the ice and it becomes a rodeo in the summer.
Oh, cool.
So it was a good time.
See, I was up in Wyoming. I was up in Jackson Hole. I had a great. I did go to my first rodeo, so I understand what's going on over here.
That league was awesome because we played. You played like teams in Yellowstone. You played Glacier, Helena. like all these ski towns, and we'd be warming up for games, and I think it was Yellowstone. We were warming up the parking lot, and our game's at 7 o'clock, so we're out there warming up at 5, and just doing the stretches or whatever, and then these family of deer just walked through our circle as we were stretching. So it was a unique hockey experience. But I
gotta
wouldn't
tell you, it
change
seems pretty cool to do stuff like that. I mean, did you get homesick at all? Thinking, going, where the hell am I? I'm playing hockey. Yeah, this is great, but what's going on?
Yeah.
Well, coming from Florida.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's almost the exact opposite.
Like, I'm going to Hooters, but there's no Hooters up here or something.
So, yeah. So, homesick. Yeah. I mean, when I drove, I drove to Wyoming. I brought my yellow 2002 Ford Ranger 2-wheel drive from Florida.
Oh, 2-wheel drive
To Florida to Gillette, Wyoming. It was like a 32-hour trip. I broke it up. I just stayed at a hotel. I think I stayed in St. Louis. So that was my biggest shell shock of a different life. Like, even living in Florida, like, that's a whole different life. And then obviously going to Dallas is different. New Hampshire's a different lifestyle. And then Wyoming was a fourth one. That when I first got to Wyoming, that was the only real time I felt like I was, what am I doing here? There's more cows in the state than there are people, right? But I mean, that was the only time I was homesick. But all those experiences and leaving home, and I left at 14 to live with another family to play AAA.
Yeah.
So like that part of my leaving home was done, from such an early age to go do this, that it really didn't affect me most of the time. I mean, there's probably times when it hurt more than others to be away, like probably around the holidays or something like that. But for the most part, you're just so busy and doing your own thing. You don't really have time to get homesick. And once the season's over, you're shipped back home, and your training starts there.
You probably made your best friends still to this day up there. So, I mean, that's what's great too. You're spending holidays with them. That's your family now.
Yeah.
This is it. This is the growth of you guys. And they're in the same boat as you.
Yeah.
These kids are in the same, really, the kids are in the same boat as you, and they're bright-eyed and bushy-tails, wanting to get to the show.
Yeah. I mean, and we're on the same boat, and every team's got its own culture, right? When I was playing in, we'll say City A, it was more of we're playing hockey, but we're also here to have a good time too. When we're in Wyoming, there's really not a lot of opportunities to get in trouble anyways, because there's not much going on. So it's we're here to play hockey. We're here to find our next spot in our careers. And like, as a 20-year-old, this was my last time I could play juniors. That year was a big reaching out to coaches and seeing if they can watch because a lot of people aren't coming to Gillette, Wyoming from the Northeast to watch those kids play. Can you watch my game on Live Barn or watch it online, whatever it was at the time? So, I mean, again, it was a good experience, and all those different ones along the way. It's like it forces you to mature and see how different people live. And I mean, again, my parents aren't coming with me in all those times. I'm living with different families, so I'm migrating into their culture, their dynamic. I'm having family dinners with them. If they want to go to church, I'm going to church. Like it's and helping out your billet brothers or sisters with homework and stuff. Like, you become part of that family for however long that season lasts. And
are you still close with some of those families that you talked to, that you dealt with, or was there some bad experiences that you had with the billet families?
So yeah, there's a few I'm close with, and again, like they're not making money doing this. Like, you got to pay a billet fee, but I mean, I ate my billet fee, every month, and then I'm using electricity and stuff like that. So they do it because they love the game, or they got kids who play, and like we're the quote unquote role models. But I did, if you want a billet story.
There you go. I love these things.
Hold on.
There you go. Hey, I'll open it.
Oh, I didn't even see that one.
There you go. Hey, got you.
So leaving the city and the team out of it.
Yep, good.
Moved up there. Made the drive, same thing, 2-wheel Ford Ranger. We show up first day. It's beautiful outside. It's on a lake. It's all good. And we get there, and the billet dad was, hey, we're going to have lobster tonight. I'm like, perfect. This is going to be great. We pull in. We have, and my parents didn't come, but my buddy that, we grew up together in Florida, and we're going to this program together to live in the same billet house. His mom's with him. I'm alone. So we go into this house, we sit upstairs, we have lobster dinner. It is amazing. It's like, this is going to be a great place to be in. Mom leaves, so now it's just me and my billet brother, my buddy, and then we get shown to our rooms. So we haven't even been to our rooms yet. And pulling up, it's a nice house. It's all good. We go downstairs into the basement, and we walk into this. It's a room. It's the basement though. They finish half of the basement.
Okay.
And we walk in, and the first thing we do is knock our foreheads off the ceiling because it is about so to walk around. It's good podcasting here, but my neck is completely cranked, to the left or right, and that's how that room was. So we walk in. There's a futon, so there's one bed, and again, I'm in the same room as my buddy, and on the floor is an air mattress. And me being the good teammate I am, I'm like, I'll get the air mattress. She's like, oh yeah, no problem. We're gonna get you a bed, whatnot. Slept on that air mattress all season.
Oh Jesus!
All season, and it would one of those air mattresses.
It would deflate.
Blow it up.
Waking up,
Yeah, and that was one aspect. The other aspect about that situation was this was a family. Unfortunately, you got to do your research, make sure you're getting the right fit and everything. I say billets, a lot of them do it because they love it, and that's not part of their income. This family was income. Ooh. So the rest of the time we were there, it was like Burger King for dinner or just fast food, things that weren't, or Hot Pockets, right?
Yeah.
Because in the winter, they would take hockey players. In the summer, they would take baseball players from the town. So they always had someone living there.
So you would think they would have invested in a bed.
Invested in a bed, but
or a grill.
Yeah, I mean, or a grill. But in this town, I'm assuming it says in the winter it turns into a ghost town. Like it's a very big summer town. So I think families were hard to come by that were willing to do it. I mean, there was a couple small incidents that I don't necessarily have to get into, but like that experience of it wasn't the best fit. But again, this is how this family lives. This is how this family operates. Like. It made me appreciate what's going on elsewhere, where other families I've lived with and gotten that opportunity. But I mean, again, it wasn't the best situation, but at the end of the day,
but you
I had a
learned.
roof over my head.
Yeah, you learned a lot of life lessons,
and that's
from
what's
that.
great. And you definitely did learn. I mean, from going all over the place, you learned what to do, what not to do later on, and that's awesome though.
Yeah.
It's a great experience.
Yeah, well, it's an experience. I also learned a lot about two-wheel drives in the snow.
Yeah,
and,
don't do that.
Yeah, that was a good time. But and also like when you're playing junior hockey, if you're not going to school, you got a lot of free time on your hands and a lot of opportunity to be an idiot. And part of that maturity is realizing, hey, I can use this time wisely because one, I'm not going to school right now. I'm living the dream. I am playing hockey, and thankfully my parents let me do that. Each year I actually did take a class, but like it's not the most rigorous course, right? So
basket weaving,
not basket weaving. I think I took an English class actually. But I'm not a writer, and it was one of those like before ChatGPT, but you still find ones.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we're that whole experience was something I still am thankful for, that I got to be a part of. What it could be and what it can't be or what it shouldn't be. But I guess my PSA is, hey, if you're setting your kid off, just verify a little bit, talk with the program, how long have they been doing this, and for any players that are listening, it's like if it's not good from the start, probably get that, because what I wish I would have done is made it I would have brought it up to my program or my coach of like, this is an issue right now, instead of waiting to a point where it got to where eventually like, and it was like January where I finally said something. It's like at this point it's like you're stuck there, dude.
Yeah. Hold you're not going anywhere.
Right.
Just suck it up. We got 2 more months, if that, a month and a half, and you're done.
Right.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But that's insane. I mean, life lessons. Absolutely life lessons, and it's great. I love hearing this stuff. I mean, I could probably listen to more stories that we're not on air.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But all right. So you're doing this. It's over. We're done. We're gonna move to Nashville. How did that happen? So you were in Chicago coaching, then it started from there, but you didn't. How did Nashville happen for you?
Yeah. So I went to Aurora University, which is just outside of Chicago. Like I said, played 3 years NCAA, played club hockey, and my wife now is she was going to Notre Dame. And we were doing the long distance thing, and then she actually moved to Aurora to be with me my last 2 years at college, and she got into PT school down here. And that's honestly I did the follow thing.
There you
so
go.
not a real exciting story, but I lived in Nashville for a summer while I was doing the whole AAA thing, and I was familiar with it. I'm like, I don't really have a place to go. I've been out of my house since I'm 14 years old. It's not like I have a room anywhere.
Yeah.
But we moved down here in 2018, and I took the first job that I was accepted for, and that was in HR.
Okay.
But immediately after, like, the first thing I did when I get down here was I was emailing coaches, junior preds, pred select, flyers,
Okay.
just like, please somebody keep me in the game.
Yeah.
Because honestly, and this is like, we could talk a whole hour of when I was done playing and I competitively, and I was still, again, at this point, 2018, I was still trying to live the dream and do the SPHL and Fed or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
That is a hard adjustment of something you're doing every day. You're skating, you have a purpose of you're working out, like you have that goal, and then buzzer goes and it's over.
Done.
And
What am I going to do? It's almost scary. I mean, again, if I apologize if I say anything wrong here, was it almost like a depression for you? Did you fall into it? Because that honestly, I'd be like, what am I doing here?
well, you hear about guys when they retire, what they go into the player assistant programs, because
Yeah.
it is such a go, and then now all of a sudden, and it's bad to say, but you become quote unquote normal, and you're waking up at 7, you're going to work, and then you're coming home from work, and you don't have anything to do now.
You're not going to play hockey tonight because
Right.
in front of stands. No, or you got to play beer league.
Right. Nailed it. Well, I mean, and that too, it's like the not only the schedule or that routine, like that was a problem in itself.
When you're building to something, when you're not playing, you're training. And
Right.
then you're getting ready, and then you got the game, and there's a rhythm to it.
There's a rhythm to it. There's a goal. There's that flow, and then it's just done. And then you miss that part. But the biggest thing is like there's things that the hockey culture allows of like you're BSing in the locker room or, making fun of your teammates. And like all of a sudden now I'm in HR and I'm correcting people.
You can't be doing that.
No. And that was like
Locker room HR. That's
Right.
pretty
Oh yeah,
funny.
you know what? I think that could be a podcast on itself. Yeah.
yeah, but yes, it was that was tough, and I think a lot of players who are done playing, they need to. A lot of them get into coaching before that, or they keep trying to live the dream, or there a lot of people find a new. You got to find something. New. They got to find something.
Well, I do know, talking to a couple people that were in the MLB, NFL, and their biggest issue was leaving when they left. It wasn't the game itself. They knew they were done with the game. Their biggest depression or upsetness is the locker room. Mm-hmm. The locker room is where it all starts, and that's where it is. I mean, that's life.
Yeah.
That's where the fun stuff. That's when you separate, friendships, and that's where you have it all. Is the locker room, the banter, the friendships, and the leaderships in a way too. People, flock to, the stronger person in the locker room, and it's like that's it. And they got guys like, I know, dude, the game, I couldn't do it anymore, and my body just shut down. But the locker room was always the biggest thing, why everyone says they miss it the most.
Yeah.
And I think that's what helps, too, in beer league. I mean, when you do play a men's league, beer league, that's still there. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change.
Yeah.
You don't have a coach coming and screaming and yelling at you, kicking over the can like in Shorzy. But
Yeah.
but it's a lot calmer and cooler and just hey, let's have a pop, let's go get some cold ones after, let's do that, and that's what's cool about the beer league. And when did you decide? So when you come in Nashville, you're throwing out emails to the junior preds, the flyers.
Yeah.
Did you reach out to I don't think Nolensville was at that time. Where they
No,
weren't
Nolensville
open.
wasn't around.
Yeah, because they opened up after COVID because
Right.
because my son was in the lab. Mm-hmm. He was in the lab area when we played, and God rest the lab. You ever played the lab? You ever skated the lab?
That's where basically that 307 originated. It was
Really?
we would do 3-on-3s, we do skill sessions. That place was perfect because it was small groups and honestly a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
That stunk when that place fell.
I mean, it's right around the corner from my house too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that was always the best thing. That's where my son started. That's where I got to meet Greg.
Yeah.
And we right there in the lab when the kids started, I thought it was the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, just go ahead, go play. and that's where my son started. He started with Allie and Marty on that team and the Vanguard team, and then he was just a filler. Let's be honest. You know, he was there. They're like, we need a kid. Hey, D, you want to play? Here we go. Here we go.
Good.
Sure, let's
He's
do
a
it. Let's
good
have fun. You know.
defenseman.
Yeah, he's D. I love him. But yeah, so you came down, you're throwing out emails, trying to get yourself still back into the system. I'm sure your wife or your girlfriend at the time, she's like, very supportive, which is really cool. And you're like,
Yeah. So say this so I don't get in trouble after this. She's always been great, always been supportive, way more accepting of this lifestyle that I kind of put myself into. Because just real quick, like there are times where when she was in PT school and even now, there's days like this season where I don't see her for like 48 hours because she'll go to work, I'll wake up, I'll go to my job, she'll come home, and then I'm not getting home from the rink till 10:30. She's asleep. Like that is a lifestyle that I'm very appreciative that she is supportive and accepting of right now. And so just want to do that. Shout out, wife.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting him come.
Thank you.
So I'm sending out emails and I'm like, I can't do this again, quote unquote, normal and I'm thinking of like podcasts. I'm trying to do like during COVID, I was doing like free Zoom stick handling classes because I'm so like, I need something to keep me in this. I come down, I join a men's league team, and I did it over in Antioch, and that was an adjustment too because you're going from full on 100%, and now I'm playing with guys that just no offense, like just really like the Predators and want to do whatever they do at men's league, and it's not hockey.
No.
I mean, I wrote starts to books, and then people are like they don't like it. I thought about like I was trying to do everything. Just to stay involved. And then one day I actually started coaching with Pred Select, started as assistant coach there for a 12U team. The head coach ended up ended up getting
You're listening to me too much.
got fired.
Got retired.
Yeah.
Just got retired.
Retired. And I became the head coach after a few weeks. So like right away, like I am now the guy for this team. And that, I mean, it's a more dramatic than anything, but like if I don't get that job or that call, like I don't know what I'm doing. Cause I'm in Nashville. It's a great place to be. I'm in an apartment. I'm, 26 at the time. And life is good from an outside perspective, but I'm still missing that piece. So I do that. I'm with Pred Select, and it was all good. You got the bells and whistles of the Preds and things like that. And at that time, I think TPH is still Thunder. I think.
Yeah, they were.
So we're all these we're feeding to TPH. We're feeding guys at AAA, which is great, and trying to get them moved up. But then COVID hit. I think I did Pred Select for 2 years, and I'm also at this time I'm getting more involved with hockey. I'm doing 307. I'm doing private lessons. At this time I don't have my Nashvilleins summer team, and COVID hits, and I'm like, well, crap! Now I gotta do something. So the opportunity came right before COVID. The hockey director for the Pred Select was leaving, found a new job. I'm like, I'll do it.
There you go. That's awesome.
And if anybody who works in sports, there's not a whole lot of money in sports at the youth level. So I actually was taking
someone's making.
Someone's making money. The people that should be
exactly.
Making,
someone's like, money.
Yeah. So took a pay cut to actually have that job, and then COVID hit. I'm going to hit this thing 10 more times. Talk with my hands. My wife's Italian. And
Good. There we go. All right.
The COVID hits. I then start. So now I'm a full-time employee of the Predators. Never sat a day in my office because COVID hit. I got my computer. I started doing stuff for like the programs for next year. And this can go way deeper. But we end up getting furloughed, a lot of people for the Predators. I'm like, well, I don't know if I'm going to have a job. Like I'm getting paid. I'm actually making more on unemployment than I would have been. And that was like the good thing.
I remember those days.
Yeah. I'm getting my, checks from the government. I'm like, this sucks. I need a job. And so again, didn't even sit at my cube as a hockey director for the Pred Select. never talked to never sent them an email introducing me. The biggest thing I did was like set up the summer programs if we go back to the rink. So in the meantime, through coaching, I had a buddy that I was coaching with at Pred Select. He's like, why don't you come work for my company? And, that's where I'm at today. So I ended up leaving Pred Select. I'm like, hey, I don't know when I'm coming back with you guys. The world is a mess right now. Sports, who knows what's going on? I need more stability.
Yeah.
I take this job, and I'm like, hey, I'd still like to coach my Pred Select team. So I'm resigning from my hockey director role, but I'd still like to, hey, can I please still coach my kids, my team?
I need to make real money.
Yeah. I need
got to support my family.
Yeah, I need to make real money.
Yeah.
I still want to coach. I still love hockey. I still like this organization.
Yeah.
And this is where my kind of,
Okay.
bone to pick came from. They're like, no. So they took my career move from being with them, and like, hey, the COVID hit. Like, no one ever saw that coming, and no one. Hopefully, we never do that again. I found a job that was good for my situation in my life, and they punished me by taking a youth hockey team away from me. So I'm furious. I'm like, this is what I need. Like literally, talk
Just
about
when you found it,
right?
Yeah,
it's taken away again.
And this is two years maybe.
And the world is coming to an end during COVID too, so he doesn't know what's going on.
And
that sucks.
And everything's scrambling, and I'm like, I'm literally on the phone with the HR lady, which is like full circle for me being in HR. I'm like, how, like,
I know how to talk to you.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, so you, and I made her say it. And I'm like, I'm resigning from my full-time position with y'all, and you are not letting me coach a youth hockey team because of that. And she, I'm like, all right. And I'm standing there in my 700 square foot apartment in Nashville with my wife. I'm like, I don't know what to do. So, first thing I did was get on my computer and I looked up. I knew the Flyers were around, and obviously TPH or Junior Preds at the time, other programs and then I emailed the Flyers, and I'm like, hey, I told him the situation. I just got let go, and he's like, yeah, come on over.
Awesome.
And I've been with the Flyers ever since, and it was kind of like one of those blessings in disguise of like, hey, we don't have all the bells and whistles, but we are going to grind it out, and we're going to figure it out. And that's kind of like how, and it is much more of a, fam. I might get myself in trouble here, but
family.
It is a family atmosphere. We don't have again, bells and whistles, don't have the greatest facilities, but like,
and
you got people who are going to care.
Yeah.
And I was just that I lost a lot of respect for that organization just from like, I am a person, and I'm like, I'm trying to do a service for these kids, and you're hurting those kids.
That's sad.
Yeah.
That's really sad. And you honestly, you deep down, you cared, and you want to do that. And unfortunately, they had their own decisions, what they had to make, and water under the bridge. We always say water under the bridge. And we always say here, listen, everybody has a preference. Everyone has a preference. And I told Greg years ago. And Greg, you can attest to this too. I said, if I wasn't with the Warriors, because my son was at the Warriors, I'd be at the Flyers. And, Greg, you knew this all the time when we were together. I'm like, got to go to Flyers. And I was the one to talk him into it.
You told me that was the right culture and just the right mentality.
Well, the culture. And the key is the culture. And I think it starts, and we said this on other podcasts too, the culture starts up top. And the culture at the Flyers is up top and is grade A. And it does trickle down. You always say the fish stinks from the head down. This is a good smelling fish.
Yeah.
And it really is, and it's a good smelling fish. Hey,
That's the name of the episode.
Good smelling fish.
Please don't make it the name of the episode.
No, but the whole fact is you have great people there. Again, there's great people everywhere. Yeah. Let's be honest. And if it's what your preference is, your preferences, and unfortunately that happened to you, and that's not cool. Yeah. Because you really, really care about the kids. I mean, from what I've known about you, again, I don't know too much about you, but I know of this conversation of us having a beer together and just talking, hockey. I've heard about you, how you were as a coach, and how people flock to you.
Yeah.
And you're a good coach. You have a pedigree. You don't have a skin in the game. Let's be honest. You don't have a reason why you're coaching because my kid. No, it's not.
Right.
You do it because you love the game.
Yeah.
And to me, as a parent, that's something that I look forward to. Really, I do. I look forward to a coach that doesn't have a skin in the game. You know, like I'm not going to put my kid out there, you know, because he's my kid and he's going to play center the whole time. You're like, no, that's not what I want. I enjoy to hear this, and it does suck that it happened to you, and I feel bad, but you know, it's our game. It's the Flyers' game that you came in here and do that. I'm sorry that happened. You know, I really do. But again, I'm not sorry because you made it.
Yeah.
You made it here. You know, and listen, the Flyers organization's been around for 60 years.
Yep.
They did something right. You know what? It's great. They are very simple.
Yep.
This is who we are. This is how we operate. If you don't like it, you can go.
Yeah.
Honestly. And to me, and it all boils down to the beer league, you know, and some organizations, again, you know, some organizations will tell their kids, well, if you keep paying money to our program or you do all this other side stuff, you can go to college, D1.
Yep.
I'll get you into D1.
Yeah.
What? Well, if you need to take these skating lessons, I mean, unfortunately, like Paulie, his last class, and the last episode, he said it. He said it straight out. And there's coaches up there that if you don't take their clinics for $100 a clinic, he will not take you on his team, on AA or AAA or whatever team. And then you're like, wait a second here. I'm trying to, you know, better my kid, but I can't afford it, $100 each time. And why do you have me over the barrel? It's not fair. It's not fair. That's why I love the Flyers organization. It's like, hey, we're here. We can help you if you want or not. Doesn't matter. You're still good. You're still good with the organization. And it's simple.
Yep.
It's a simple thing. Yeah. Would I wish we had a restaurant or a bar in the place? Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every time I look at that no alcohol beverages, I'm like, come on, man.
Just wishing.
Just wishing.
Maybe that'll change.
I think it might.
Maybe that'll
I
change.
think it might. But, you know, listen, you can paint it up, make it nice. So let's you know, we're
I
okay.
like the rustic feel. It's been
It's
around
like
for 60
it is a
years.
barn. You know, it's a barn. I mean, you played in some barns.
It's a bomb shelter is what it is. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a barn. I mean, you played, I'm sure, in some really, really, really weird arenas.
Yeah. I mean, Centennial just talking about. I mean, I remember playing that Country Western Showdown when I was 12 years old, wearing the cowboy hats, and that skills competition was
Oh, that was awesome.
The best thing. Like, I would look forward to it every year. We go up there every single year. And I mean, I hope, I know there's stuff going on right now, but I hope it stays that way.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be run down. Yes, there could be renovations, but I hope that
You
family
could put perfume on a pig, but it's
Spirit,
all right.
the spirit continues.
Yeah, maybe a shower curtain,
There you
something
go.
like that.
Yeah. or get rid of those metal urinals, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's something that you go, I don't know, boys.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it stays the same.
But I always noticed when I played in Centennial, it was always darker. It's always too dark in the one arena, the big arena. It was always dark.
Yeah.
The new arena, the other side, it is brighter, and it's colder in there, but it is a bright. See, as a goalie, I play goalie for all of them. When I'm playing, I want
You will see that black.
I need
puck
to see
shine.
it. You know, I don't need to. You do. You need some lighting, man. I
Is
got to
that
be
the
honest.
issue, the lighting? Is that what it was?
No, it's my 5-hole. That's what the problem was. No, honestly, and it's funny too because every time I played, because when I moved here, I moved over in Franklin because of A game.
Yeah.
A game to me was it. I lived right around the corner from A game, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna play.
In a perfect spot.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was absolutely awesome. It was great. We went there and I played. Just got myself playing again, and I'm like, all right, was on a B division team, and I'm like, all right, this is fine. And I go, and I was getting peppered with shots. This team wasn't a B team. We playing. I said, okay. And the guy goes, well, we're going to go down to we played 2 seasons, and we were okay, I remember playing against Barry Trotz.
Okay.
This was years ago.
Yeah.
Barry Trotz and I was on. He was on the Red Dogs. I was on the Moose Knuckles. I don't know why, but anyway,
That tracks.
Moose Tracks, whatever it is. So I'm playing, and he's got a heavy shot. Couldn't skate too well.
Right.
Couldn't skate. Heavy shot. And I'm playing well, and I'm making saves, doing all this stuff. And I go, hey, coach, I got a shot. He goes, not at all. I said, all right, great. It was
Hey,
awesome.
that's why he's a GM now.
Exactly.
Honest.
Yeah, he is. He's like, not at all. I'm like, all right, buddy.
Yeah.
Still beat you 2-1. But yeah, and then that's why I moved over to A game. It was great because I played a lot. And then the guy goes, like, I'm going to go to C division. I go, no, I'm not going to C division.
Yeah.
And then he goes, I'll get you in A division. So all right. So I went and played in A division. And then I realized again, and at that time I was 40.
Yeah.
40 years old. And I go, A player is an A player anywhere. You know, regardless in the Northeast, South, you know, there's an A player. There were some A players. I mean, they were good. And as a goalie, you have to be on your game the whole time. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not into doing this anymore. Yeah. I'm really not. I'm done. I'm retired. I was like Brett Favre. I retired and came back so many times it wasn't even funny. Yeah. And then, you know, I stopped for like 5 years, 6 years. And then my buddies from New York going, hey, we're coming down to Nashville for a tournament. I said, all right. So I found my goalie equipment, and I had like a mouse in there.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I got to get no goalie stuff. And I played a little bit. I quit again. And then another buddy of mine, when I was playing, guy had New York Ranger pants. I go, you a Ranger fan? He goes, yeah, from New York. Anyway, the guy's name is Mike. And he was up here, and he was from the town next to me in New York, Long Island. So I played a couple games with him, a couple seasons. I was like, I'm done. Yeah. And the only time I'll come back to play is when my son plays beer league with me once. Yeah. That's the only time I am completely retired. I hate the game. I hate, as a goalie, getting there 2 hours before, stretching, getting ready, put the pads on, then going, or leaving 2 hours before the game starts. I got to get there, get stretched, do my thing, get dressed, go to the game. I leave 2 hours after because I got to shower, make sure everything's. I'm like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah,
I can't.
There's a certain point for beer league, and I'm playing in it now. Where,
yeah, that was going to be my question. How often do you get to play?
So I've been up until this season. I've been playing Sunday nights at Centennial, and now I play Tuesday nights and Sunday nights at Centennial. So playing an upper A and a lower A. Okay. There are points where you want to be competitive because the competitiveness is part of the drive or what you're looking for, because no one wants to go out there, and because we've had teams like this in the past on my Sunday team where we're just not even competitive. We're just getting the crap beat out of us. And it's like, there's teams
where Tag still out there?
Tag is still out there.
Okay. That was an eye opener for me when I played them. I'm like,
you're playing guys who have won Stanley Cups and things. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah. But you want to have fun and enjoy it, but there's a certain point where it's like, I also want to be competitive out here and win some games. And I mean, Nashville Beer League, the upper A it's getting intense. I mean, there are people who are getting cut and things from that upper A division.
Really?
Oh yeah. And this is like this past summer is like the first time I've really seen, because guys are coming to Nashville, and Nashville's a great place to live. There's the income tax.
No tax.
And like these guys are coming and they played ECHL or AHL even, and they're joining these men's league teams. And I mean, it is fast. It is fast hockey. I'm not saying it's anywhere near like pro hockey, but there are some guys out there that can move. And if you're not ready to go, it could get ugly pretty quick. And then my Tuesday team is lower A, and that's a little more relaxed, but it's still the same thing. Like, there's a lot of crossover, I think. The part that really, if I'm going to spend time and like do this for myself, because I'm only playing for myself to get to scratch that itch and whatnot. If I go out there and it's a 10-10 start, and you have a guy that's not, I'm not going to tell you to back check, but at least like skate a little bit while you don't have the puck. Yeah. And if I'm there at 10-10, I'd appreciate that a little bit more. But it's still fun. I enjoy it. And like, if I didn't want to do it, I obviously have that. I'm a full grown man. I don't have to do it, but I'll always do it.
Well, the A division is to me, when playing the A division was like, it was a lot. It was hard, it was fast again. But you have the mentality as a goalie to do it. But it's cooler because the players are cool. Yeah. They're like, hey, I know I'm awesome. I know I played at a high level. Yeah. I can do this stuff. And then they just coast, and then they have fun. Yeah. The competitive it gets there a little bit when the game gets close. Yep. But it's certainly not B division. Now, B division is guys that were good, and they still think they have a shot. Yeah. I have a friend of mine that told me, we were playing one time a B division game. A guy came up to me. I'm playing. The guy goes, this kid over here just says, hey, you want to go? He goes, go where? Yeah. He goes, we're going to go and drop the gloves. He goes, no. Yeah. I got work tomorrow, dude.
I believe it.
And that's what his B division to me is a division I will not play ever, because these guys will still go 1,000 miles per hour because they still think they have it.
Well, yeah. And that's so when I first moved down here, I played B over at Antioch. And I have not lost. I played juniors. I wore a visor. I have not lost any teeth. My second men's league game after moving to Nashville, I played in Antioch, and this again, same thing, just overly competitive and not competitive to the point where it's above their skill level.
Exactly. You nailed it.
This guy tries to lift my stick, completely misses, and it hits me. So like I have one fake tooth now, and it's not from playing hockey for 25 years. It's from playing my second men's league game in Nashville.
Yep.
Did the root canal, the whole
B
thing.
division, baby.
Yeah.
Nothing like B division.
You know what though? I still won't put on a cage. So
There you go. Good. There you go.
So that's my stubbornness.
Yeah, well, I tell you, I always say, this is where the Don Cherry in me comes out too, because I think I don't like cages either, because it teaches young kids not to control their sticks when the sticks go up and hits the cage. When you don't have a cage, you have, hey, I'm coming, keep your stick down, And also, I'm a big advocate of having a stop sign on the back of your jersey and the back of your helmet, because when hitting happens, kids don't have any clue. They're hitting each other anyway. The back, hitting from the back, you don't hit a stop sign. It's stop. Don't keep hitting. Don't go through that.
Yeah.
I was watching something on YouTube, Bar Down. It's some Canadian thing, and they all had stopped. It was like the Bar Down guys, and they were playing 14U AAA. Because they started with like 8, or the 10, and then 12. Now they're going to do 16. But everybody had the stop on the back, and
Canada has that.
Yeah.
Canada has that all. They have the stop sign on the back. Should tell them to stop. And
Smart.
also too, and I know a big thing too, and this is a Don Cherry thing, and I'm a total advocate with it, is the shoulder pads. The shoulder pads and the equipment and the elbow pads. Now they're like these plastic football things.
They're weapons.
Yeah, they are. So you get hit with a piece of plastic, and the kids are stronger, faster. It's going to knock you out, right? It's going to put you in a loop.
Yeah.
What about the old days, the old Cooper overalls?
Where
They're cushions.
If you gave a big hit, it hurt you.
Yeah. So and that's exactly. I don't know. I'm old school. That's why
going old man on us.
Get off my lawn. That's why it's here.
Well, I want to bring it back. I want to talk about 307 hockey.
Yeah, let's do it. There we go.
This is something that Jack, my son, he's 13. He did the hitting clinic over the summer, and there's a lot of people that do those. But man, we're having fun with this podcast. But you've done like 40 podcasts. You got three times as many as us.
Here. We're rookies
We
here.
could really just put your podcast on, walk the line, and answer a lot of our own questions here, because there's some good stuff on there. And if you have questions, guys, go check that out. It's on Spotify. It's really good. But tell us about the offerings that you have at 307. What are you guys doing? You had some stuff over the summer that we just heard about. We're just kind of getting in that age group with you. But
yeah. So 307. So when I first moved down here, I was still trying to do all those things, but what I found was it's way easier to purchase ice and things like that when you have an LLC and you have a name, and because there's rinks that would make me get insurance and things like
Question,
that.
real quick. I'm stopping you now. How much is ice here?
So
Okay, because that was a question my buddy brought up yesterday. In New York, there's about $600 an hour.
So at it's 500 at a rink.
Okay.
375 at one.
Okay.
And then 350 at the other.
there's a
But also,
range.
Okay.
yeah. So there's and also it depends on the time you're looking for.
Okay.
Early mornings is better, but
Okay.
it's definitely like when I first moved down here, I was getting ice for 250, 275, and the lab what we were talking about earlier is great
Yeah.
because it was like $100.
Yeah, it was $100. I know.
Which is probably why it's not here anymore,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
I
But yeah, so that's
Okay,
that's
so, go ahead. I'm sorry I tried to cut you on that one, but go ahead.
Yeah. I've always, since I've been down here, I've been offering these things, whether it's stick handling classes or off ice. I mean, I used to go to the Percy Warner stairs and like have kids running up those and doing things like that. But I found it, one, to have a brand to be more beneficial, to get my name out there a little bit more. And also like, am I making money from doing this? Sure. But like, it is so expensive and other things that are happening. It's like like my summer teams, I'm not trying to sell, this is going to be if you come to this, we're going to try to promote you for this team or juniors or college. It's like the summer team specifically, which is the Nashvilleins, is like, we are here. I don't care if you're a Marauder. I don't care if you're a Warrior, Junior Pred, Flyers, Pred Select, whatever it is. Like, this is meant to be fun, right?
Yeah.
We do that. We play a couple tournaments in Nashville. This was the first year we did U12 through U18. It was awesome. But we enter as an A team, and like summer hockey is a complete mess. So like we enter as an A team, and we'll do well some games, and then we're gonna play a team full of AAA kids at the A level. Like it is what it is. But the what I quote unquote sell for the Nashvilleins is this is for fun, guys. And we did 2 practices. We went and played a tournament. You get a jersey. You got a villain name. Like every kid gets to pick a villain name. Like kids were like Bane or Joker or things like that. And that's what that program in particular. But my biggest thing is because I grew up doing all the camps and everything and all the skills and things, and 307 is really just me, and I'll outsource for coaches like Coach Sean, who you had on, helps out. I'm not trying to build like this program to be a travel team. I'm not trying to. 307 is never going to become a program like with teams throughout the year. It is. I operate it in the summer when their seasons are over. It'll be, we'll do power skating clinics or a hitting clinic. The hitting clinic's been a good one for everybody because it seems like there's a need for it. And that's kind of like the way I want to have it be. It's if there is a need for something and a parent comes to me that says, hey, my kid is nervous about going into Bantam next year. Are you offering anything? And that's where that hitting clinic started. And this past one, we had 40 kids out there.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's a waiver involved in doing that, but I mean, there is a need in Nashville honestly, for the things that I can offer, and I have the time to do it right now. I mean, I don't have a kid.
That's the key. You have the time.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I love this. I think that's great because my son played one game for the Nashvilians this year with Sean. Yeah. Unfortunately, my son plays baseball too. Not unfortunately, but he plays baseball. We're in that medium time to go. What are you going to do? Play baseball? You're going to play hockey? Yeah. And I'm always an advocate of playing multiple sports.
Yeah.
I like the word fun.
Yeah.
The fun as you leading this thing is fun. And it's unfortunate because there's some people out there that still don't get it as fun. It's like, oh, we're gonna play. We got this tournament. We got this tournament going. I'm like,
yeah,
time out,
guys.
man.
We have a ghost on the front of our jersey.
Exactly. and my kid says, what are you over there? Bane or something on the back of his jersey. I'm like, well, no one really cares.
Yeah.
But the fact is, there are some people that I do know. In other organizations, and they're like, oh yeah, we had a summer tournament. We went to St. Louis or we went to Colorado. I go, why?
Right.
Why?
Yeah.
What are you doing? You know? And then they're like, oh, well, we won. Did you play? No, you can't play. Now stop it. Don't be an idiot.
And let's be honest. I mean, no one's coming to watch Nashvilleins, or if it's a Chicago Mission team, it's
or the Battery or
Battery.
Yeah.
You can go to a showcase and pay $500 and just get play your 3 games, maybe a 4th. You got to return the jersey. You got to pay for a hotel. There are plenty of options to do that, and that's why I try to be upfront with. I mean, really everything I do is like, this is me. This is my program. This is what we're working on for these skills. Again, whether it's a shooting clinic or skating or hitting or it's the Nashvilleins, it is what it is. It's very Flyers.
I love it. I think it's gold.
Yeah.
What you got there, what you're doing is gold because you just nailed it with a showcase. And I know some organizations up the Northeast, hey, we're going to have a showcase. We want you to spend $500 for your kid to come up here, knowing that they're not going to take anybody, so they can just, make the funds bigger later on.
So you can be seen just by the other parents.
Not by a
scout.
No, it's the organization. The bank account's getting low.
Yeah, you're paying for the next year's jerseys.
Exactly, and that's what happens. And they know they're not going to take a kid, and they'll have 400 kids at these things, and they go, we'll call you.
I mean, at the end of the day, and this is another complete tangent. It's a business at a certain level. There's a reason why there's over 100 Tier 3 hockey teams, and it's not because they're all trying to get you to the same spot. There are teams popping up everywhere, and they'll last a season or two, but you're paying 15 to let's just 10 to 20 grand.
Yeah.
10 on the very, very, no one's paying that. But you're paying this obscene amount of money, which again, and when I was growing up, it was probably with inflation and all that, about the same. But there's a reason why the good programs stay good, and there's a reason why programs are new and they disappear. It's like, make sure you do your research of where you're going and things like that, because at the end of the day, there's a bank account behind that junior hockey team, and that if you stay with them or if you go to a different program next year, they're just going to fill your roster with the next kid willing to pay 18 grand. And that's why, we can, again, real deep here, but U18 hockey, and that has completely fallen off. And that's why, even our program, the U18 team, is hard to get enough kids because you can just go play juniors when you're 16.
That's exactly what happens.
You can go play in Pelham.
Yeah.
It's
juniors, the U18, if you again, U18 is a very, like you said, is hard because people are doing this, and they're like, "Why am I going to spend money on the U18? It's not. I want to go play juniors. I want to, do something more. And it's hard. It's hard for an organization to put together a U18 team.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
Well, that's going to be our next episode is juniors.
Yeah, he's
It's gonna be
coming.
all about juniors.
Well, he's juniors too. So
Yeah, but this is Noah's going to focus. We got Noah.
Oh yeah,
Klinsky.
yeah. So all right. Everything's going on. You're coaching now with the Flyers. What teams are you coaching with the Flyers right now?
So I got the 14U Bantam AA team.
Okay.
So I've had that team for a few years now.
Okay.
And I actually, when I started with the Flyers, I was 14U A1. Then I went back to 12U, did that for 2 years. Did 14U for another 2 years. So I actually moved up with like a group of kids so I had it for 4 years, which was fun. Now I got the 14Us, but I also run the skill sessions. I think we have them twice a month. So every team comes through, and we, every skill session there's a focus, whether it's skating, 2 weeks ago, or tomorrow it'll be, shooting, things like that. So that's what I'm doing with the Flyers. And then I also coach for Page Summit High School in G-Nash.
Okay.
Also, I guess at the time when I moved down here, I was helping out with MTSU before they became what they are now, which is they're a pretty good club hockey team.
Yeah.
But as of right now, my things are going on are 307 in the summer, Nashvilleins, Flyers during the year, Page Summit during the year, and then the podcast was good 2 summers, and then I realized I've kind of said everything I can think of right now, and I'm just waiting for you guys to invite me on to talk more.
You need guys like us on your show.
Yeah,
I'll get some ratings up. I'll be yelling and screaming, "Get off your lawn!"
Well, and not
He's
only
the
that,
miserable old guy.
I mean, kudos to you guys. I mean, it is hard to, because I had guests on. I had people come and talk about their programs or former teammates I had, and those episodes did well and were good, but there was only so much that only so many connections I had, and being a little podcast that I was, it did pretty well. It was hard to get that set up while I'm doing all these other things on the ice and things. But it's also made me realize I talked about a lot of hockey things. I shared pretty much every opinion or what I think of how kids should show up to games, or like power play breakouts, or the attitude and effort, and like that's a big thing I speak about, is just like control what you control, things like that. But then after a certain bit, if you don't have a guest on your show, you sound a little crazy talking to yourself for
See,
30,
we got
40
two,
minutes.
so we can bounce ideas off
Yeah.
each other. Like, yo, what do you think about this?
But I was
good.
listening to some of them today. I mean, they're not like ours, which can get long-winded.
Yeah,
but they're
Are you
short.
looking at me funny?
And they're
Why do you look
it
like
just
me?
depends, I guess, on the guests. Some
yeah.
people like to hear them, especially these New Yorkers. But no, it's like 15-minute
terrible.
episodes, and they're tight and they're focused on stuff. Like the first one's about how to get scouts to notice you.
Yeah.
And then you got ones on tryouts. You got ones on mental toughness. There's one on billeting. And so I thought they're really good. I'm going to make Jack listen to them. But that's really cool. But I want to give a shout out to your shop here, man. I was really impressed at the level of merchandise that you have got.
We got to re-talk after the show about
I
this.
bought
This
a
is
shirt
something.
today, but you've got all this stuff with the Nashvillains, and then it's tons of different.
I'm going to buy
shirts.
one now. I didn't know this until you just told me about this.
But definitely go to 307 Hockey.
I need a hoodie. I got to
And
get a hoodie.
there was a hoodie that I wanted to get. I wanted to get this one with the Bauer one, but it was only for youth. I was like, damn. But you've got everything, man, all the way down to like the caps, but like
you got a trucker hat?
slippers.
I
It's
got a
You
trucker
got a
hat
trucker
on
hat?
there.
I
Yeah.
got a
the
trucker hat.
backpacks. I mean, this is really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
Slippers? You got slippers?
so the way those websites work is, one, I'm obviously trying to promote my brand, and the more youth hockey players that I can be involved with, like I want to have that impact, because again, to get more deep and philosophical, is like the game gave me a lot, and I pay it for or give it back and things like that.
Love it.
That is part of the why I do the Nashvilleins and the fun part, and also the skills and training that the 307 does. But when I was like, I want to grow this so I can, be involved, because right now, let's be honest, I have a lot of Flyers, which is great. I love the Flyers families. And then I've been doing this for Nashvilleins. This will be my 4th summer coming up, and it's been getting bigger and bigger every year. And now, like junior preds are starting to come in, which is awesome. And it's like you're getting that full hockey, Nashville hockey feel to be part of the Nashvilleins. And one of the ways I was like, well, how can I reach people if they don't see my Instagram or they don't see my website? It's what the kids are wearing. So a couple like Nashvilleins things. If there was a player game, I hand out a shirt or things like that. But shout out Squad Locker because they'll put a logo pretty much on anything.
Squad Locker, huh?
Yeah.
Document that, would you? Squad
Gonna have to figure out the
Locker.
Squad Locker. Yeah,
Sponsor.
I mean, I think you've got more stuff than the Flyers do.
Yeah, I think so too.
And they're only open like 2 weeks, 3 weeks at a
Hurry up
time.
and get it. That's
Right.
it. You know,
I mean, look at all these pajama pants.
you
This is
got
awesome.
pajama pants. I want pajama pants.
Yeah.
Oh, you got college shirts too. Look at that.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That blue will bring out my eyes.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, I want to know about the high school game around here. How are you enjoying that? Like, is it getting bigger? You got schools that are combined, like you got Page and Summit. Is there going to be more teams? Like, walk us through that real quick.
So G Nash hockey has grown a lot since and now my voice is failing.
There
I
you
went
go.
to a Notre Dame game.
Oh, okay.
This on Saturday, so there was a lot of booing at the officiating. I don't know if anyone saw Notre Dame Boise State, so my voice is going now. But G Nash, so the high school hockey league here in Nashville, has made again great strides and improvements. It's gone through its struggles, and obviously it's a hard league to run and have function, efficiently because hockey is growing, but it's still not big enough to where like I have two schools. Like Page does not have enough kids to have their own team. Summit doesn't have enough kids to have their own team. So like in that in itself, you got two different populations of schools. They're actually like rivals, I'm pretty sure, for football. I don't know about
Yeah,
the
it
football
is.
scene here. And now they're on a hockey team together, and I am the coach for both schools. So I've always been with Summit since I've been down here. But so that is something that changes every year because the numbers of kids. Then we have a team where if you go to a school that doesn't have a team, you are an outlaw.
Outlaw, yeah, I heard that.
And then now we got a team up in Clarksville for all the kids up there. So like it's going in the right direction, but you have some AAA coaches that don't want their AAA kids to play high school because it develops bad habits because you're going to have an 18-year-old AAA kid out there and
Just smoking everybody.
just smoking everybody, but also you got to put a lot of trust in your coach because like as a co-op, I have two schools. If you can't make cuts.
Yeah.
If Timmy wants to be on the varsity roster
He's on.
and I'm a co-op, you are on the roster, but it doesn't mean that Timmy has to dress or play.
Yeah.
However, I want my kids to develop and get better. Like for this year, I have 21 kids on my team.
Wow.
And, there are times, so that leaves room I got two of those are goalies, so I'll have 19 skaters.
19 kids.
So they're technically one scratch a game.
Yeah.
So there's I try to rotate kid out, get him in, but
Yeah.
at a certain point, if you have a U18 AAA kid that's 220 pounds,
Yeah.
can fly, and if he happens to get on the ice with one of your freshmen who's a house league player,
Yeah. It's
or I mean, there's the skill range is.
well, we did middle
We
school.
see that in middle school, yeah.
I saw that in middle school hard, and and honestly, I didn't like the middle. I mean, I like the concept of the middle school hockey because it's like, okay, we're going to preempt your career in high school hockey.
And there's no hitting, right?
No, there's no hitting.
Right.
But the thing is, people still take it so serious. And it's the springtime.
Yeah.
And again, I was so turned off this year. My kid played it 2 years. He played it when he was fifth grade, when he was allowed to play in fifth grade. Now, sixth grade, he played it last year. I was so turned off by the parents, the way they acted in spring hockey. Yes, if you listen, you know damn well who you are out there. I was disgusted. Just listening to them screaming and yelling and acting like a complete fool. And I'm like, dude, they can't hear you on the ice. And it's spring hockey.
Yeah.
It's middle school. No one cares. Stop screaming at your
Some
kid.
of them care, Seth.
Yeah.
Some of them care a lot.
You know what? You know what? Get him here.
Yeah.
Get him in this podcast because I'm going to be the mean guy then. I just hate it. I
Yeah.
hated the way
Well-
they acted, the way they but the thing is, my kid loved it. He had fun, didn't care.
He
And
was playing center.
yeah, he was
Defenseman playing center.
He had
learned
no
a
idea.
lot.
It was great. He didn't score a goal all year last year.
Well, he's defensive minded.
He is. That's all he is. He's a defenseman. He goes. He played center. He scored the first shift. He scored a goal. That was it. then it was funny because I liked his coach. I really loved his coach. I loved both coaches this year. Played hockey against one of his coaches. Great guy. I enjoyed him so much. My kid didn't like him.
Yeah.
And it happens, Again, it doesn't happen. He didn't like him because he got yelled at a lot. I said, "Hey, wake up, dude! It was like a learning experience for me, for him to basically say, hey, listen, you're gonna get yelled at in life.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It was like his first time getting yelled at. He's like, well, he didn't teach me anything. I go, well, just pay attention, listen. And it stuck too because he was baseball. Springtime is baseball, and some of the practices he couldn't make because he had baseball.
Right.
So it was hit or miss, and it was just like you said, it's almost like the summertime fun,
Yeah.
and it's springtime, it's fun. It's supposed to be fun. Just go out there and have fun. But then you had some of these parents just acting a complete fool.
Well, and that I think talking about G Nash, and again, it's a good opportunity for you to represent your school, play with new kids, and it is one of the hardest things to coach because of you want to. So we play 15 games, then we have playoffs, and I think we have 12 practices. So if you're talking development,
That's it. 12 practices. Wow.
I think so.
Yeah, you're not going to develop kids in 12 practices,
Right.
I'll
Well,
tell you.
and then you got kids who are playing on their travel teams that
Yeah.
can't make your G Nash practice because, as a coach, I'm like, if you have travel practice, go to your travel practice.
Absolutely.
But it's the hardest. It's one of the hardest things to coach because, again, you got little Jimmy who's a house league kid. You want him to learn, you want him to grow, but it is my job I'm employed to win games. I want to develop, but I could get fired from this thing. And if I develop you in practice, you're on the bench. Let's see how things go. If you can adjust the speed, things like that. So there's some kids that don't get a whole lot of playing time. It is a high school sport.
Yeah.
And then you have some parents that are like, well, why isn't my kid playing? Well, so there is that aspect to it. And then also the 12 practices a year, you don't really get to work on things as a team.
No.
So the times
and no one shows up to the practice. There's like
showing up,
4
so-
kids at practice.
So,
You're like,
I mean, honestly, a lot of the coaching happens prior to the game of this is what I want to try to implement this year. Like our power play, we went over it in one practice and then, hey, a little reminder, this is what we're doing in this game. Because the kids that were on the power play, they had travel practice. And it's like, it's a tough dynamic to work through. And then also I give the refs a hard time, and it's always, I do understand, but it is a hard game to officiate and be a part of when you have one kid that's skating 20 miles an hour, and then you have a kid who's, I don't know, $120, and they just kind of run into each other, and they're looking out for safety, and there's just so many different skill levels and ages and weights and body types in a high school hockey league that for it to truly be a developmental for me anyways, you have to be allowed to at least make cuts for every team because that way you get the same skill level, same dynamic out there. And those kids that aren't playing or don't make the team, they can play JV. The whole thing.
Do they have JV?
They do.
they do. Okay. See, I didn't know that.
I wasn't
JV.
sure.
But
Yeah, yeah.
JV is run by the Preds, the National Predators. It's run by the Fordyce Centers. It's kind of right now, if you want to play JV, you can't also be a travel hockey player.
Okay.
So with all the teams,
It's like a glorified house league.
Yeah.
essentially, and I think I don't know all the details because for Summit Page, we don't have a Summit Page JV team.
They don't have enough.
Right, and they go play with other schools.
Yeah.
But you're talking about development, and there's so many travel teams now. If you're a travel hockey player, and maybe you shouldn't be on a travel hockey team. Well, you just lost your chance for a JV. So there's tons of different.
Wow,
ways.
that's really intriguing that you said all this stuff too, because I know how. I mean, up in the Northeast, I coached JV. We had to take other teams' freshmen's cuts,
Right.
Because I know you have different schools, so we had different schools too.
Yeah.
And and we had kids that were AAA players, but they would never show up to the practices, but they show up to the games. You're like, dude, he's starting center.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's like
he's starting center, dude.
Well, and you want to be that, have the accountability, and I do that for my 14U team, the kids that are there every day at practice.
Yeah.
I can instill those things, but if I have if I have, I mean, the kid is practicing, he's got another commitment, any other situation, whether it's college or youth hockey, like if my kid who does everything right, but he just can't make a practice because he's practicing elsewhere, it's like, how am I going to penalize that kid when then I get other moms and dads who are like, he's never at practice. Well, if I put Jimmy out there, he can't skate. He can't skate. Yeah, so it's an interesting dynamic, but I mean, I had parents try to sue me for ice time.
Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah.
Well, see, hockey's such a different thing because I coach baseball and I get I'm just retired because parents, referees, umpires, it's just like other coaches, they just have this. The difference with the other coaches here, and I guess in school league, everyone knows each other, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But like when you coach against a team, St. Louis, you're like, that coach is a jerk, man. Shut up, stop screaming and yelling like an idiot.
Yeah.
And I think I got to that point where I just couldn't stand coaches anymore. I couldn't stand umpires. I had a game where one umpire told me, he's like, turn your hat around. I'm like, what? Yeah. Turn my hat around. What does the matter with you? Well, if you don't shut up, we'll be in a parking lot in 10 minutes. I go, you threatening me?
It's power trip.
I'm like, dude, stop.
Like that
man.
one you sent me the Facebook where that ump got beat up.
Yeah.
Right? They started a big fight.
Dude, like, stop. Just stop.
The ump was the guy who was the problem. It wasn't like a coach or a parent out. It was the ump.
It was the
psychopath.
umpire.
Yeah. My whole thing with officiating is, since you asked.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's, look, I would never be a ref. Never. Wouldn't do it. Because, one, I don't want to get yelled at, and I know I make a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes, but it is the lack of it. You can be bad. I really do not care if you make a bad call or it's bad, but just be bad for both teams. And the thing I get most frustrated with officiating in general is the lack of understanding for rules, or if they're not like they're you can tell if they're invested in this game or what they're doing, because rules change from division to division, where it's like if I'm playing a high school game, the kids are allowed to ice on a penalty kill.
Yeah.
If that ref was used to coaching U14 youth hockey, you can't ice on a penalty kill. So we go out there for our high school games and we're getting icings called on. It's like you're obviously not invested in this as much as these players are.
Yeah.
And it's like you are here to do a job. So that's my biggest frustration, is like the lack of understanding of the rules or the care. Like I said, it is one thing to make a bad call. Like I mess up for coaching decisions. I mess up when I play. It's like, but
you got to know the rules.
Got to know.
It's like Tennessee Titans coach. You got to know the rules.
That would be,
right?
Or that running back that dropped the ball before he got over the goal line.
or James Franklin for Penn State. Yeah, yeah.
Well, we better.
Hey, I want one more question here though before we get in that on. I actually got a couple more questions.
We could go all night.
Yeah, we can. Oh, should we take a break and then we start it over again, or what do you think?
No, let's just keep going.
All right, we'll keep going then. All right, one of the major things. What do you really like about coaching, and what do you not like about coaching?
Sure. So, like I think I mentioned this earlier, what I like about coaching, hockey has given me so many opportunities. It's why I'm at where I'm at. It's why the person I am who I am. Mm-hmm. Again, living with different families, different coaches, different teammates, living in different parts of the country. I mean, I love coaching in the sense I'm trying to provide that for little Greg, right? Mm-hmm. Another kid. Yeah. And I think because I remember my favorite coaches, and I remember coaches that weren't necessarily my favorite, but there's certain, things or sayings that, have stuck with me and kind of how I live my life, whether it's and the biggest thing is attitude and effort, and that's like my two things. Like, control what you can control. I say it every year, and because something is always going to go sideways, someone's going to make a mistake, but like, what can you control? Yeah. And that is the hoping to instill that in a younger player or whoever it is, because I had coaches that were there for me later in life that are still my friends, and things they've said to me have stuck with me. And also, and this is a deeper part of it, but, leaving home at 14 and like whatever your home life situation is, parents are divorced, whatever's going on at home, it's like hockey was that break for me.
Your outlet.
My outlet. And that was like, this is before like BetterHelp and therapy and all this stuff, right? But,
Who thought of that?
right.
Then?
We'll
No.
talk to somebody.
Yeah.
No. So like,
Here's a beer.
so I would go, like, hockey was my outlet. It was my break from whatever was going on. And, I try, and like everybody else, like, you have good days and bad days, but I try to, I don't know what that kid's going on at home. And like, I'm
going to clap you on that one.
Thanks.
Seriously, because that's something that I've always been.
Yeah.
You don't know what made that person act like that. You don't, as a kid, the kids start crying for no reason. You're like, when you're yelling, you're like, what just happened here?
Right.
You don't know what goes on behind closed doors. You don't know how his day is or his month is or his week is or whatever. You don't know.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. And I think, not to get too deep into the story because it's a sad one, but you don't know what the kid's going through. My second year coaching in Nashville, coaching a U12 team, and a lot of kids on that team, they're seniors now. We're not a lot. A few of those kids that are on this U12 team I'm talking about are now seniors on my high school team. Mm-hmm. So I've been with them for a long time. So we go, I can't remember what city we went to, but this kid, happy kid, great kid, we just won our league championship. I'm not going to say names or anything, but I get a call the next morning, a Monday morning, and that kid ended up taking his own life, a 12-year-old. So it's like those things, and I'm a young coach at this point. It's like we just won our league, how small and stupid that seems, and then I'm getting a call from his mom, and it's like, what did I miss? There's something else, because I'm with this kid, 5 hours a week, whether it's practice or games, and everybody's having a good time. The next day it's over, right? And that not little things and experiences like that is like just a good reminder of why we do what we do. And seeing all of his teammates again, these are 12-year-old kids. And I have a couple of them with the Nashvilleins, and again, a couple of them on my high school team. It's like, when I feel like, don't get me wrong, there are times when I can get mad at those kids or whatever kid. It's like there's a time and place for that. But at the end of the day, you are here to do something you love to do. Mm-hmm. And this shit doesn't matter at the end of the day.
No.
We're all going where?
Beer league.
That's right. So it is...
I hope you didn't take it not personal, but like that was your fault that you didn't see the red flags or anything like that.
So that was as a coach, that was a big, obviously a big moment in my life, and not having kids, it wasn't, obviously I understand, but I'll never understand that pain of that family. And he has a brother, and he's graduated now, but I mean, we run into that family every now and then. They're still a hockey family, but it just is it's a good reminder of you have an impact on these kids' lives. Yeah. And whether you're winning or losing hockey games, or if you back checked on that player or not, it's like,
who cares?
Let's go home. You're gonna have a job, you're gonna have a life after this. Yeah. We're all gonna end up in beer league, and and again, it wasn't like we won our league, and the next day they get that call. Yeah. So not to bring everybody down by telling that story, but that is what. It was just a unfortunate opportunity of like how important, our roles are as coaches in youth hockey. And it's something that'll always stick with me. Like
absolutely. I mean, you telling the story right now, I'm a mess right now thinking about it, because my kid is 12. Yeah. And it's, and even if any friends, any kids, I've coached it, and I know exactly what, I guess I'm really getting choked up here thinking about it. I don't know how I could handle that.
Yeah.
I don't know how I could handle it.
It's hard to even imagine. I mean, it's just kind of like impossible to fathom.
Yeah.
But that's the thing about being a coach, is that you get to be a voice for people, and, that's a very rare situation. But every time you're out there with the kids, whether it's on the ice or on the diamond or on the soccer field, you get to be that different voice that they don't really have all the time, except when they're out with you. And you can make a big difference. And I think that's why coaching is, such an important thing. And you find a new life. Like, you loved hockey. You were like, you didn't want it to end, but your knees were like, hey, it's enough. But really, it's like when you get to the coaching side, and that's what Sean was saying, he really discovered his passion for hockey when he started coaching. Yeah. And so it's kind of like a whole second career, and it's almost like much longer, you know, and much more possibility to it because you don't rely on, you know, your knees staying healthy or whatever. And so it's exciting. So what do you love most about coaching? What do you really enjoy coming back every week?
Yeah. Well, the impact for one thing, but I also, I think having the ability it is a structure every year where you got the start and the end and just talking about on ice and not the emotional part, I guess, but having what your team starts as, and then you're in a league most of the time where you can see, you know, how you stacked up to them at the beginning of the year. And not to toot my own horn, but pretty much every team I've coached from wherever we started at the beginning of the year, I have a, you know,
growth chart,
improvement. You know, the kids are gelling better. They're, you know, and the skill kind of comes as they get stronger and faster with age. But like a big thing I want to try to get across is like how to play the game right. And so I think that's my biggest thing is like having something to point to of again separate from the impact of like, hey, this is where you guys were at the start of the year. Look how far we've come, and that kind of came to a end result of last year when I had those kids from when they were 12 to when they were 14. This is my 4th year with them. We actually ended up like going to nationals, and cool. That's something as small as, you know. Again,
I think when it really hits you is when you're playing beer league and they're playing with you.
I had that happen this year.
I was going to say, that's got to be the coolest thing, too, though. You know, like I coached you, and now I'm playing with you.
Yeah,
you know, and that's actually, it comes full circle.
Yeah.
And now you're like, hey, coach, man, I remember when you yelled at me. You sucked. Oh, yeah, I know. Hey, I'll pass the...
Yeah, or like if I do a toe drag at the blue line, like that kid now can give me crap.
Exactly. Like, what are you doing? Pass the puck.
Yeah, that happened for the first time this year. A kid I coached
that's great.
as a 12-year-old played on our team. So
he must be pretty damn good then because he's playing with you then.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Right.
I mean,
but I know I kind of hopped around the question, but yeah. So enjoying coaching, the thing I least enjoy, I guess, because that was part B, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the kids are usually never the problem.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it is the external things that. The pressure of, again, I start every year the same way. I have the same parent meeting. Like, I am happy to have a conversation, the whole 24-hour rule, yada, yada, yada. And I'm happy to explain myself, but there's ice time or power play or whatever it may be. And quite honestly, I've had a pretty good run. I've only had a few instances, I guess, but it's just, there's that loss of, the same thing I'm trying to get across to the kids of like, we're all going to end up in the same spot, but mom and dad think little Jimmy's going to the NHL and you're 16.
Those are the worst parents. You feel bad. You do. You feel bad because a lot of the times those parents have never played a game.
They
never played a game. Well, they played a different sport and they're like, oh, we're going to do this now. No. And you're on this side, and when you have your kids, and they get into, youth sports, and then you're going to be on the other side because you hear it. I mean, I'm telling you, you hear it. You hear it a lot. From baseball, you hear, well, how come my kid's not pitching? Because he sucks. That's why.
Somebody needs to tell you.
Yeah,
you can't figure it out yourself.
The guy, and it's funny. That's how this kind of started, this podcast, because I'm the guy that sits in the audience, and they're like, I'm like, well, your kid didn't suck so bad, he wouldn't be playing. Greg's like, dude, I mean, but it's true. I'll tell people, like parents, straight out, like, yeah, he's good, but if he got better, he'd be on the power play unit, know. So I'm the realest guy out there. So I tell
the voice of reason.
Yeah, I am the voice
from
of
Long
reason.
Island.
There you go.
Yeah,
but I get it because I could see both sides. As a coach, I never heard the chirp.
Yeah.
You never heard chirp until I got the email or the phone call. Or, again, I'm going to knock on wood because I always had great parents in baseball, which was really, really cool about it. Yeah.
Flyers have been great.
Oh, God. Well, that's exactly what.
That's the fish.
The fish
head.
The fish up there, it smells like roses, let's just say. The roses fish.
Yeah.
But it's true. It really is true. And some of the, some are promised things. They're promised, hey, your kid's going to go to D1.
Yeah.
Really? Really? Okay. But it depends on how much money you got, so you can keep paying for these lessons, and your kids be better.
Well, that's I guess too with coaching. It's like the drama every year around tryouts, and it's like, and then they all put them at the same times, and it is a disaster.
Oh, it stresses the hell out of us too. I got to be honest, it really does. Like 2 years ago, my kid's like, "Dad, I want to go back to the Warriors." I'm like, "What?
Yeah,
really?" He's like, "Yeah, my friends did." I go, "Oh, your friends left over there. They're on other organizations." You go, "Oh, really? Okay, I'll go back to the Flyers." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, you go back to the Flyers. Now stop it."
Yeah.
And I get it. And that's, I mean, you can hear it. You can hear all the crazy parents and you hear screaming and yelling. "Oh, my kid gets out there. If he'll score."
There was a public service announcement. You said it earlier. Like, they can't hear you through the glass.
Can't do it.
If you've never been to hockey before, like, just know they can't hear you. So just stop.
And that point too, every year it's a reminder of my job as a coach is this side of the glass, right?
Yeah.
The cold part, and then I guess some rinks are all cold, but the kids can, whether I can hear you from across the bench, sometimes the parents are above.
Yeah.
Like sometimes the kids can hear you, and the kids if the parents are rowdy or it's whatever's going on, like sometimes the kids will change to what that atmosphere that's going on. It's like sometimes as a coach, you just got to bring them in and like, don't worry about what's going on the other side of the glass. Like, worry about what's going right
Your
here.
Your dad's hammered and he's actually punching the guy in the face.
Exactly. Yeah. So
it's embarrassing. It really. They always say if you really want to, Steve brought this up. He goes, if you really want to get to know someone's personality, bring them to a youth hockey game.
Yeah,
it really says it out there.
Yeah.
All right, one more thing. Let's get off the subject a little bit too. Who are some of your influences, and who are some of the hockey players that you loved to emulate when you were playing and stuff like that? So
So from a young age coaching, like I had my coach growing up. His name was Trevor Fahey. He was Russian coach and Canadian, but had a Russian background, I guess I should say. And he was the first guy who, I had all the intangibles, like a skill level, but I didn't have that fire, that drive. And he always tell me, if you ever get your heart, will, and desire is what he called it. And it's actually, I got a tattoo, and that's what it says is those intangibles that can't be measured by a radar gun or a stopwatch of, you control those things. And I think that's part of why my motto kind of resembles that of the attitude and effort, control what you control. When I was on the ice as a youth hockey player, my personality in general is a very non-confrontational and hey, I can be competitive, but I didn't have that killer instinct, that
fire,
that
fire,
it, right? Yeah. And I didn't have that, and that was what was missing. And he always told me if I ever found that, I would be a much better hockey player than I was. And at some point I found it, and that's the reason I got that tattoo, is because when I made my college team, was that was my,
call.
Yeah, it was this is, I finally did it. This is what my coach has been preaching since I was 8 years old. Mm-hmm. So that's why I got that. And so he is he coached a lot of my teams growing up. It was my dad, then him, and then my dad was assistant coach. So shout out Trevor. That would be my coaching. And then obviously I think probably everyone you ask this is your parent, your dad.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Driving and everything, being involved, paying for everything. And don't get me wrong, there are ups and downs, and I'm sure you guys have experienced that. But, there is a point where it's there's so much being attributed to, the travel and the finances and, moving and things like that, where it becomes I don't want to say a burden, but it's a lifestyle choice. And me and my dad have talked about it a few times, so I have no problem saying this. But there were times when hockey was not fun, and I'm I'm done with this, and he would be right there and nope, you're doing this. And
that's great.
And then there would be times where I'm like, Dad, I just want to have fun, and every parent goes to that. But if I just if you put it in simple terms, just want to have fun, there's House League for that. There are programs for that. Yep. And my dad, I told him that one time, and he said, I pay too much money for you to have fun.
Oh, he did it. That's awesome. He went there.
Yeah, so
I think that's where we're at, my kids now. God, knock it off.
Yeah, so whether he was serious or heat of the moment, like there is a commitment level there
Yeah.
for. I mean, you're dragging your siblings around too to tournaments, and it's like at a certain level, that you kind of have to leave the nest and do that on your own and stop doing that. So.
How did your dad feel, or your dad and mom feel about you when you left at 14? How did that go with them? Were they just like,
Yeah.
go, get out, or no, my boy's got to stay here?
I think, so again, way deeper conversation, but my parents were divorced going through a divorce at the time. And like, I'm good to get out.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So that's a whole separate issue with brothers and sisters and things
Okay.
like that. But, so when I had the opportunity to leave, my dad was very much, go do this, live with another family. And then
Mom was like, no way.
mom was like, no, not my baby,
Oh, yeah.
I'm the firstborn. So
But you're always a baby, though, man. Come on.
yeah. So that was definitely two different schools of thought on that one.
I was gonna say you must have been really torn then.
Yeah, torn, and at that time, it's like I still had a brother and sister at home, and you kind of feel like even as a 14-year-old, I feel like that abandonment level where I'm kind of getting to escape the situation. Again, that's more of a personal thing with me, but so it forced me to grow up. It forced me to learn. I watched different dynamics. I watched different parents argue. I watched different siblings argue. Different, household incomes and how people live. And I wouldn't change a thing as far as when I left or things like that, from a hockey perspective. Because again, it made me
Who you are today.
Who I am.
I mean, listen, you became who you are. Your friendships over the years, and you said you're the coach that is a big influence on you. These guys were such. Made you who you are. You're here, and you got to this point because of everything that happened for you. And I'd love to hear that. That is outstanding. That you've grown from it, and it's trials and tribulations. 14, dude. That's huge, that's really, doesn't really, I'd be like, no, you ain't going anywhere, kid. But, you had it. You were playing AAA, the finances of it, like your dad said, he's paying too much for it. And it really,
Yeah. That's a tough conversation to have with a 14-year-old to try to make him understand it. Like, obviously, at 14, I probably didn't grasp it. And now being on this end of it and seeing how expensive the sport is and, paying, like, I had to pay my way through juniors and things like that. Like, there are things where you appreciate or you understand why things were said when you were younger, because you could try to, sugarcoat it, snowflake it a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's like, this is reality and real life. If you want to follow your dreams, there's certain sacrifices you got to make to do that.
The sacrifice as a parent too is huge. Especially when we're here. We're just in the single A and double A. Just imagine triple A. We had a father on here the other day. Triple A. He's like, we did drop $30,000. In 1 year. You're like, whoa, 30
But they'll
grand.
always have Quebec.
You'll have Quebec in there. Again, it is great. Again, it is a life. Everyone that went to Quebec, with my friends up in New York, they're like, dude, it was the greatest time ever. I'll never forget it. But
Is this the Pee Wee tournament you're talking about?
tournament, yeah. So
Yeah.
Well, we got to wrap this up, man, because you could just keep asking him questions all night. But you
I'm
got to
sorry.
get.
I'm sorry, Greg.
Yeah, I was giving Coach Sean some crap for talking so long.
Yeah,
It's me.
it's 4:00 in the morning. No, it's really not. Well, it's good too because I don't really know Greg. I never met him, but I heard of him, so I'm kind of glad we're hanging out here like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
All good things, I hope.
Yeah, so great things.
Yeah.
So what we do is we do a lightning round. I know a rant. We get off my lawn here. So
Some of this is simple.
just simple stuff.
One thing that we were talking about last time with the AAA, I want to know your opinion on national rankings that come out for these youth teams. Is that legit? Is that a joke? What do you think?
I think it has its value. However, if you are looking at rankings, hey, we are 106 in the country right now, and we're about to play a 72 or a 50, and we're going to get our doors blown off. No. One, because let's just say that team's a Chicago team, they're playing Chicago teams, and you're playing in Nashville, and all you're playing is Southeast teams. It does not. It doesn't always compute effectively on the My Hockey rankings. And we went to nationals last year as a team who was, I think we were I think we were still out of the hundreds. Like I think we were 101 or something like that. And I could be wrong, but the teams we were playing were, low 50s, somewhere in there, and we went to the quarterfinals. It's like the rankings one, it's kind of similar to what I was talking about with like points and things for players. It's just a number.
Yeah.
It's any given Sunday, right? It is puck bounces this way. It is however, you control what you control. If you look at that ranking and you assume you're going to lose, you're going to lose. So, So well, I don't really look at them that much. No.
Good, because my last episode, our last episode here, my buddy Paulie was like, he just destroyed the rankings. He's like, it's BS. He goes, anybody in a league play that is in that hockey, it will always be lower because you'll have upper teams and then you get penalized for playing bad teams.
Yeah.
So it's not fair.
If you don't beat them by the spread.
Whatever the spread. Yeah, exactly. So that's what happens. He goes, it's the stupidest thing. And plus these guys are ranking teams that they've never seen before.
Yeah.
Who the hell are they?
Just ranking coaches, I guess.
And let's be honest too, it's like I got a U14 team. I have kids missing their Friday game because they have a homecoming or a football game, and Saturday the kids got a doctor's. It's like, I've had my full team for. I don't even think I've had them for a game yet this year.
Really?
Just with like kids missing weekends for family or things like that. So
this is
don't like it.
Softball. This is your favorite Philadelphia Flyer, not Nashville Flyer. Your favorite Philadelphia Flyer.
So growing up, I always wore number 8. And it wasn't for Dave Schultz. It was Mark Recchi. I started as a forward. He was short. He was, that wasn't the fastest guy, and that was kind of me. So I latched onto him as my favorite player right away. Why I wore number 8, and then when I became a defenseman later on, I still wore the number 8 just because I liked his, his off leg shot and. Growing up, watching the Flyers in the '90s and 2000s, he was my role model. I looked after, and I lived in Atlanta for a little bit, and I got to watch him play for the Thrashers for a season. So, Mark Recchi, favorite Philadelphia Flyer.
Love Mark Recchi.
Yeah.
Good call on that. Who's your favorite defenseman?
Favorite defenseman,
or you tried to play like too? Obviously.
So I'm 5'9" on a good day, so I always try to stick to the smaller guys, and I think, Flyers never really had small defensemen, but Dan Boyle for the Lightning is because of growing up in Florida, looked at him a lot.
If you went to Atlanta, Edstrom, right?
Another
one,
yeah,
the little guy too.
Yeah, I just kind of tried to find guys that kind of fit my playing style, I guess. So, but obviously, like when Chris Pronger's with the Flyers, you're looking at him, and it's like I'm not Chris Pronger. I don't have a mean bone in my body. So, but that's Mark Recchi and probably
Boyle.
Boyle. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
I'm going with Hextall.
You go with
I
Hextall.
just love Hextall. Goalie goal. This is another easy one. Greatest hockey memory.
Oh, greatest hockey memory.
And you don't have to have cancer involved.
Yeah.
That was a tough one to follow.
I did see that one. Yeah. Yeah. I already had my sad moment. So my favorite hockey memory. I think. Honestly, my favorite. It wasn't something that happened on the ice, but it was when my goal was to play hockey in college, and obviously that started as I want to play D1, and then I'm playing juniors till my 20s, so until my 20th year. So that was that dream had kind of come and pass. I'm like, I want to play NCAA. I want to be part of the that small percentage that has played NCAA college hockey. So I go to Aurora University where there's there's 60 kids at this tryouts or 80 kids, I can't remember, and I made that team. And actually the funny story is it was their first year as a program, and they were like, oh yeah, come, you're on the team. Well, then I'll get there and there's tryouts.
Oh geez.
So everyone's like kind of crapping themselves. I'm like, we all thought we were good to go. And this is a new program. The coach, great guy, but he was a baseball guy.
Okay.
And the program is very the coach that came in that shipped me out of there. The program was like top in the country almost.
Oh, really?
And for Division III, and that kind of that hearing the coach called me. I'm like, you said you're on the roster. You made our team. That was like my I did it moment. And then I did it moment, it finally made it worth it, was I played a couple games in the Fed. Again, it was like, hey, my parents have spent all this money to play for me. I'm finally getting paid to play hockey. So that was a cool moment. And then the same thing happened when I made the Havoc training camp. Kind of just like, did I even come close to recouping the money that was spent on me to play hockey? Absolutely not. But it was like,
It's symbolic.
it's symbolic.
You didn't even cash that check, didn't you? It's just sitting in your
It was cash. So.
All right. It bounced. No.
Yeah. So that was.
Who'd
that
you
was,
play for the Fed?
The Watertown Wolves. I was living in Nashville, and they were playing the Winston-Salem Thunderbirds. I think they just changed their name this year. And me and another buddy from college, he got the call. I'm like, hey, they need some, their players are hurt, whatever. Can you go fill in? And I'm like, yeah, I'm staying in shape for like this call. Like I'm basically just like, somebody call me. And so they're like, yeah, we need both of you. He ended up sticking with the team, but at this time I'm working full time.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, yeah, I can't really give up benefits to go play.
Man, that's crazy.
Like it's also a moment in your life where it's like either I'm fully in on living the
This
dream
is
or
it,
like I
or
need to
it's
do
over.
this. Yeah, so I went and did those 2 games. And it was awesome, like people watching you play and things like that. And the hockey was still good. Yeah, there was fights, but it was a great experience.
Did you ever get into a good Donnybrook or what?
I've been in 2 fights.
Attaboy.
Two fights. One's on video and one's not. But
We'll have to find the video.
Gonna pull it up.
We're going to find that video.
No, not gonna pull it up.
I don't think you did too good there.
All right. Get off my lawn here, and we'll
Okay.
finish it up. But the first one, you got, this is the guys you don't like. This is Sidney Crosby
Yep.
or Marc-Andre Fleury.
Ooh.
I gotta pick one of those to
Yeah.
shoot to the moon.
Yeah. That's why
one
it's
you'll
fun.
keep, you'll be all right with them.
Who's
Yeah.
getting off your lawn?
I not being a goalie guy, I think I gotta go with I would Flurries to the sun, off the lawn. I'm keeping Crosby.
Them goalies are nuts.
Yeah, Crosby's he's been doing it for so long, and so is Fleury. But for I'm not a goalie guy. So Crosby, just everything he's done for the game, done it the right way, professional,
Yeah.
still doing it, sticking with the Penguins. I mean, I know Fleury probably would have loved to be with the Penguins, but they all.
He did just retire with
Did
them,
he
though.
just
I saw
played
that.
one more game?
One spring training game, preseason game.
Yeah, and they were chanting one more year. Yeah. I
He
mean,
had a long one.
a lot of kudos to Crosby for sticking out. The
You know,
Penguins,
it's funny. I'm gonna talk about Paulie too on this one. He nailed it. He goes, you hated these guys.
Yeah.
You hate them during the year, but then when they're done, you're like, damn, I respect the hell out of them.
Yeah.
Everything about those guys. Fleury, Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Crosby, Pittsburgh. But you're like, damn it,
Here's
man.
a guy I don't respect. Dirty Tom Wilson or Malkin. Who's getting off your lawn?
Malkin's off the lawn. I'm keeping Tommy. Tommy fly. I mean, he's the perfect flyer.
And he's not though. But
Yeah. He's not a flyer, obviously, but he. He is the quintessential like power forward and does the dirty things. Yeah, does he let it go a little bit too much? Sure, but he can score goals. He can fight. He sticks up for his teammates.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good hockey player. Sure, does he get in trouble a little bit? Yeah, but I will take his work ethic and effort any day over. Malkin's had his injuries. He's got his side partner in Crosby, but Tom Wilson can do it all.
He seems to be maturing with his age.
You know what
doesn't
though?
get as
People just
much
don't want to
trouble.
mess with him. That's why.
And if
People
you're-
don't want to mess with him.
Yeah, and if you're doing a beauty contest too, I think you're taking Tom Wilson over Evgeny for sure.
Yeah,
And then
he's
this is the
pretty.
last one. This is all right. Who's the better 2010s Broad Street bully? It's Scotty Hartnell or Wayne Simmons. And hey, they both played in Nashville.
Well, that's a tough one.
That's actually pretty. That's a good one. That's a good one there because they're both awesome.
Yeah. Who do you like more?
You don't have those guys anymore either, too. Those
No, we don't.
No, not even the NHL.
Yeah, no. That's a tough one. I think. Well, they both can't skate very well. They both would fight.
Yep.
I think I'd take. Scott Hartnell's got his broadcasting career now. I think I would take Simmons over Hartnell. Again, it's more of a grinder, more of a lunch pail guy. I mean, they both kind of were, but I mean, Wayne Simmons and, you know, him sticking up for teammates. And I think for some reason in my mind, I think of Scott Hartnell as more of like the goofball type.
Yeah.
He had that hair.
The hair.
He had such wild hair, though.
That's a square
That's
head.
the personality.
His
that
head
you're
was
talking
kind
about.
of square. Look at the square head. He got a big forehead.
Yeah,
there too.
he was it the All-Star game or something? He did the Hartnell down because he would fall so much, and every time he'd fall, he'd donate to charity.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I'm with you on Simmons.
yeah,
I'm with you on
I loved him
Simmons.
as a Flyer, and then when he went to he was in LA, I think. And,
Toronto too. He went to
yeah,
Toronto.
yeah. I mean, yeah, the Flyers need more guys like that again.
Yeah, but the whole league
I would-
needs a guy like him.
Yeah,
You know, that's what it comes
Could
down
turn
to.
around with Tocchet. You don't know.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Tocchet. Love Tocchet. All right. Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
This is my rant. These are the things that just get me going. It's just some things that will piss me off during the time. You know, today I was looking at it, and I sat there and I looked at my son. I go, you know what really pisses me off, bud? Is what? Face painters. Face painters. Guys at the football games and they dress up with face painting and they put the damn shoulder pads on. They got a guy in the Buccaneers puts the stupid horn. He's called Big Nasty. You got to be a complete moron if you go to a football game or even a baseball game or a hockey game and you dress like an idiot. You can't walk out of the house and go, I look great. My support is going to make this team win today. Go third. It's third and long. Ooh. Wow, you really convinced the quarterback to throw an interception. You're morons. Don't do it. I hate face painters, and it's the most selfish thing is because look at me. Look at me. I'm an ass. I'm walking around with all this face paint and shoulder pads.
What
It's
about
look
the
at me.
Raiders? The Raiders have some cool ones.
They got some cool ones, but you know what? They started it. I'll give them the pass because they started this whole thing. But look at these other morons. Look, a guy in Philadelphia's got the eagle head. You know, the worst is the big. It's actually kind of funny. The whistle. They got a whistle on the guy in New Orleans. They call him the big whistle. He's got a big whistle head. I'll get the picture. I'll send it to you later. It's funny. And then you got the guy in the Bucks. This guy was like 9,000 pounds. And all these guys are fat, bloated ticks, too. They really are. The guy's eating sandwiches all day, and he thinks he's a football player. He's not. He's just a big fat slob with a big helmet and painted his face. How long do you think it takes him to do that in the morning? I don't know. Face painters piss me off.
Okay.
Awesome.
I never know where that's gonna go. but,
Exactly.
I appreciate
That sounds awesome.
your anger.
Well, yeah. I'm sorry. I got face painting. It was a hot one. That's what my rant is. My rant.
Can I have a follow-up question?
Yeah. Go ahead.
What do you think about?
He's got music. He's got music.
Oh boy.
He's getting me going.
Oh no. What's your opinion on the guys at the hockey games that bang on the glass?
Morons. Complete
Do you want music
morons.
for that one?
No, get it back going. Let's go. Do it. Here we go. Again. Now hockey guys, you got me going. The guys in the corner and you. Like he cares that you're smacking the glass. Stop being an ass. Sit down and just watch the damn game. The guy doesn't care. You know what the best was? Remember the time Steve Sullivan, when the guy
hit the head?
hit the head? That was the best. It was. Stop pounding the glass. I hate when people pound the glass. It's gotten to the point where it's like annoying. The guys in the corner, they're fighting for the puck, and you know what?
What about the guys in Vancouver that are dressed up in green
the
bodysuits?
green bodies? Again, attention seekers. Stupid asses, attention seekers. That's what they are. They look at me and they're doing this stuff like this. You know what? If you're a guy, you just look at it and go, Jesus. I love when Shanahan goes, your hair, you got the armpit hair. That was great when Shanahan did that to him. But yeah, no, thanks for getting me that going too.
Yeah,
Because
anytime.
you don't like it either, do you? It's annoying.
Yeah, doesn't do anything.
No.
Yep.
And you know what else it really does? And I'm going to throw it out there. Fang finger. That's silly. I'm sorry.
It's tradition at this point.
No, it's not tradition. It just was pounding the glass too, then, guy. Mickey Mouse
We gotta keep it
franchise.
right now. We're gonna get it.
I know. But you know what? But I'm still mad. Like I said, I'm still mad about them trading away my favorite player of all time, Shea Weber. Shea Weber was one of my favorites. I would come to games here and just watch him play hockey.
Yep.
I would just sit up there and I would just watch him go. And then oh God, Shea Weber was so good.
Yeah.
Man. And that's what got me. Yeah. All right. Anyway. Now, Greg wants to go face painting now, so I just want to say thank you so much, Greg.
We can't go 3 hours here. This
Is it
ridiculous.
3 hours?
No,
How long
no,
is it?
no.
What is it?
No.
2.5?
I don't even
You
know.
broke the record. You beat Sean. You beat Sean.
I'm not going to tell Sean that. Well, make sure that you go to 307hockey.com. How can people get in touch with you, Greg, if they want to get one of these small groups or if they want to get some sort of summer thing or whatever you're doing?
Yeah, so it's 307hockey.com. On there is my links to everything, including my email. So if you have a program that you don't see that you'd like to have, happy to look at those things for the summer. Ice is becoming less and less available as more hockey programs come to town and things happen. So feel free to reach out again on 307hockey.com. I do have an Instagram. It's coach_Greg_Sauers, Sauers. Primarily started my things on Instagram. And again, it's not for me to get likes. It's more so to just let other kids know what's out there. It doesn't have to be $500 a session or $500 a camp. I try to keep it relatively low to pay for the ice and things like that. And then obviously the 307 offers summer programs, whether it's hitting or shooting clinics, things like that. But one of the big things and the most fun thing I think we do is that Nashvilleins program. And that's, again, meant to be fun, just playing with your boys from Nashville. And I guess I recently did a TikTok as well.
Yeah. What's your TikTok? Because I love you got the NHL Drill of the Week.
NYHL.
NYHL.
Not NHL.
Same thing.
It's close.
Some of these squats I've been seeing you doing on there, that's some NHL level
I'm not
stuff.
doing these squats.
These are jump squats, man. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, there's a reason I film them and they don't actually watch me do it. So, so the TikTok, I think it's just 307 at 307.hockey. I'm pretty sure.
We'll put it up. We'll put it on there. We'll
but-
copy it on there and put it on the website here too, and on Spotify. We'll get a link and just click it and get on there.
Yeah, but I'm very thankful that NYHL, so the National Youth Hockey League, kind of helps share my things and I share their things. So we kind of been working in conjunction together to just, one, promote the Flyers and what their coaches are doing, because it's not just my stuff I share. It's, Coach Sean's stuff and other coaches. So looking forward to do that more, and looking forward to obviously the rest of this season and what you guys have going on this podcast, and then, doing more in the summer. So appreciate you guys having me.
Greg, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Like you said, you're busy, and thank you to your wife for letting you come out here.
I'll let her know.
That's huge. And again, thank you so much, and looking forward for a great season and seeing you out to the rinks more and more. And it's a pleasure to get to meet you first.
You as well. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, everybody. Peace out. Have a great one. Thank you so much for Get Off Our Lawn Studios Beer League. Peace.